Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to another episode of Downtime in the Hangar, where we talk about all things GBO2 and sometimes other stuff. Today I'm joined by Gustav the 13th
Yep.
and GamingEmblem.
Uh,
No, I just didn't say
Oh,
anything.
okay.
I would smile thumbs up today, but
Okay, sorry. I was tabbed to
your
another thing.
cam is mostly head, so if there was a thumbs up, I couldn't see it.
but yeah.
depending on where it is, I could see
There
it.
you go.
So anyway, PS5 things. We can go ahead and start there, I guess. Or actually, wait, yeah. How's everybody's week? There we go. I'm tired.
Say
Man doesn't care about any of us. He's not
he's worried about.
check the
I'm
hashtag.
worried about the
Hashtag
PS5.
sponsorship
PS5.
tag in the title today.
Oh my gosh.
For PlayStation 5.
Sure.
I wish. But yeah, and this time I still don't have intro in the thing. Man, I'm slacking. But yeah, guys, how was your past week? Who wants to go first? Emblem?
I've personally just been kind of doing honestly, like everything else is pretty much the same. Too much grinding in PSO2. I'm pretty excited about the Sega collection stuff that they have right now. It might as well be Valkyria Chronicles AC scratch line with a splash of other Sega stuff. There's some Yakuza music in there, which is pretty cool.
Oh,
Ooh,
that's
pretty
nice.
They have, I think I've got all of them. Like Battle of Old New Strings is really cool. They have music from Yakuza 5 and the new Yakuza game, like the RPG one.
Uh-oh. Oh no. Oh no.
Magnum, you teleported. What?
We're back? Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, the old one, the RPG one, that's the last thing I had there before everything tried to die on my end.
I gotcha. I was saying the actual songs and stuff they have is they got the Yakuza songs, including the new one, Puya Pop Fever, Valkyria Chronicles, Sonic the Hedgehog. I feel like there's like one more, and I might be forgetting it, but they got like no like stage music though. Like you won't hear Oil Ocean or anything. It is all like main themes. So Live and Learn.
Oh yeah.
City Escape. Although City Escape is from Generations, which is like not bad, but kind of unfortunate because it's not the original.
Yeah. It's not what you'd expect.
Yeah, it definitely has a different sound to it. It's no like United States national anthem level of quality is kind of more what it goes to. And there was actually a petition for that. If you guys have never seen it online,
that's weird.
Why do you want to? You don't want Escape from the City to be, or City Escape to be the national anthem? it clicks with the youth. But anyway, I digress. But,
hey, I will say though, what's going through my head right now though, Live and Learn. Like I don't know if you noticed my head bobbing, but I'm like,
you're hanging on the edge of tomorrow. The podcast theme song for today is now officially Live and Learn.
Dude,
please,
I love that song.
If you don't have any audio, yes. If you're listening to this with no background audio,
just put that in for the intro on YouTube.
Yeah, we need the viewers at home to put in a little bit of extra work in a separate tab, open up Live and Learn on YouTube, and just play it on loop in the background for us, and that's the theme for the podcast. But anyway, I digress. Good week so far, though. I'm still keeping up in the job markets, doing interviews, and general life living and such and things. So I keep moving my mic down, but it's like I want to be like a good level. Anyway, but yeah, pretty good so far, if I say so myself.
Gustav, what about you?
About the same. Doing a bit of shopping right now. Trying to get some stuff for the stream just to try to improve it over time. Besides that, still doing this Gaia as our secondary game. Although between having a late start yesterday because of the storm and doing this today, it probably won't be until tomorrow until we can actually continue that. It's kind of interesting. I haven't actually done a like presentation viewing like that until now with the PS5, so that was nice to do. Other than that, things are pretty much just the same here.
Mhm.
Video games, internet, fun. Gustav_13.
Yep. The old extra fly. We can say that for the outro, though.
I know. It's gotta casually, totally not blatantly slip in a little bit of sellout service
Well,
for the boys sometimes.
How about this then? GS3, there you go. In GBO2, join that clan.
Yep, GS3 clan matches within a couple days.
Oh,
Can we
Magnum, I
actually
finally
talk
went
about
chill
that real
mode.
quick too? Like,
Yes.
is it actually going to be Saturday? There's this weird
that's
thing
right.
people are talking about the date being all fucky and like not being upright. I retweeted somebody about it the other day.
Yeah,
It's like a mystery to me right now.
I meant to do that on the video and I
On the
forgot
thing,
to.
yeah.
Whoops. Uh-oh. Well, that's already uploaded. Time to pin a comment.
Wah, wah, wah.
But I think it's actually
Oops.
what? Tomorrow or Sunday, and on the actual website it's saying it's the 13th, but in the game it's saying it's like another day. I can actually check. I got the game up. But yeah, let's go ahead and clarify that here this early in the thing.
Mhm.
Yeah, I figured it was another one of those things where it was like in the middle of the night, so technically it's between 2 days, depending on like time zone.
Well, it is.
But apparently there's an extra layer to this.
Okay, no, it is
they're
the
saying
13th.
it's not that it's not the 13th, but they're
that's
saying
what
it's
it
a
is.
Monday.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah.
They have it on the website as saying it's Monday, where the date is the 13th. So it is the 13th.
Mhm.
And in the video,
Yeah, the date's right.
I kept saying Monday because I read it. So the day's wrong.
Yeah.
But the date's right. So
yeah, and the time's wrong too.
Yeah, that's
Wait,
the
what?
other thing.
No, the time's
wrong.
right. It says
no,
9.
the time's wrong. But it's 9 o'clock through like 8 o'clock or 8:59. It's not a 24-hour clan match.
Okay.
Yeah,
it's only. Wait a minute. What? Oh yeah, no. It's only the.
Yeah, because we didn't get anything about them expanding the time in like
9
the
to
update
11.
or anything. So I don't think it's something like that.
Yeah. But if my internet and stuff can handle it, I'm.
So essentially, just be on alert this weekend for whenever that actually happens.
Well, the 13th is
so goofy.
Sunday. So Sunday night, not Monday night. That's what it was.
Which is weird because normally the late ones are like on a Saturday.
Yeah, that's kind of a weird one. So yeah, I'll go and make a comment on that. But once we get into the other thing. But yeah, the as far as my week, yeah, pretty much Final Fantasy 14, the subscription ended. So what I found out is your subscription ends. You cannot go to a free account once your subscription ends. Once you've subscribed, you have to continue subscribing or you can't play the game at all.
Oh.
That's pretty rip.
All or nothing.
Yeah.
Oof.
So if you start a free account, you can level every class except for the ones that you have to, reach like level 50 or whatever. You can level every class up to level 35. You could create, I don't know if there's infinite characters or how many characters you have a limit to, but I know at least on the couple of servers that we were trying to do this, you can create multiple characters. So, I mean, probably not on the same server. I don't think you can on the same server, but all you need is really one character per server. So the thing is, you can level up multiple characters on multiple servers, I should say, or one character on multiple servers. There we go. That's probably the better way to say it. Words are hard. Anyway, to level 35 on every class. And then once you subscribe, then you have to keep subscribing. So there's no like, well, can't I go back and I pretty much by subscribing too early, you can sort of screw yourself over if you don't plan on subscribing continuously. But
Mhm.
it is one of those things that if I was playing this game right now, I'd be subscribing continuously. So that's kind of my well, this is awkward, but it's only in a rare case that it's awkward.
Okay.
Yeah, but it would definitely be worth still subscribing to. I'm a huge fan of it. I know Emblem, you said you would, if you were doing it right now, you'd probably subscribe to it, right? Is that what you were saying?
Yeah, I mean, if I had people to play with, I wouldn't mind subscribing. Final Fantasy 14 is a lot of fun.
Yeah, so and then I was just getting to the point to where I was around level 50, so everything was opening up skill wise. So I was just like AoE, 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 this. Boom. Okay, now we're on a boss. Super single target kind of thing. And so there was a lot of combos going on and it felt really good. I will say though, early leveling, which is kind of how a lot of MMOs go, early leveling, is pretty slow. I know a lot of people have complained about starting Conjurer and being super slow because you just have one attack and that's it, and everything else is anything else you have is healing. So it's just here's my basic attack 3 years later kind of thing situation. But
I feel like Contra is like that the whole game, though.
yeah, that's kind
At
of
least
what.
from my knowledge. I mean, it doesn't change much in Black Mage. You get Flare. Although they may have added more stuff, but when I was playing it, you were Fire, Thunder, Blizzard, Flare, and that was it. Those are your 4 spells.
I think that's pretty much the same, essentially.
That's kind of whack.
And it's well, now in the late game, you have some crazy stuff that you do in combo together. So you have a burn phase where you're comboing fire and doing all your DPS. Then when you run out of your mana, essentially MP, you go through a regen MP phase where you're doing cold stuff and doing all these cold spell combos. And that's pretty much what I've heard the end game type combos are.
Well, that's what it was. That's what I was saying before. That's all it is. It's Fire, Thunder, Blizzard, Flare. Essentially DPS with fire. You put Thunder on them, DPS with fire until you reach a certain MP threshold. Then you quick cast your Flare, blast them with Flare. Switch to Blizzard because it gets you in the stance where your MP regens, and you just Blizzard a little bit until your MP's back, and then you just recast Thunder or something, and then just keep throwing fireballs at them and just rinse and repeat. It's a real general idea.
Maybe this is
all my circle rotation was.
Maybe this is something Shadowbringers did then, because for instance, apparently people are saying it's harder to do skill cap wise than say the Summoner, and the Summoner you do your basic burn rotation, then you summon this one thing, then finally you summon the soul of Bahamut to do stuff as your summon, and then you absorb.
That sounds way cooler.
Then you absorb Bahamut into you to become super powerful to do another burn rotation phase, and then you restart it or something per fight. And I'm that just sounds awesome, but DPS wise I think it's actually less than the Black Mage. Black Mage I think is highest DPS.
But you were saying that Summoner is more skill intensive, because it sounds like
Black
there's way more moving pieces.
Black
Mage is super easy.
See,
at least when I did it.
Everybody's saying Black Mage is Black Mage is damage is up here and skill cap is up here, and Summoner is a whole lot easier and has a lot more utility. And I'm
maybe they added more stuff. You cast 4 fucking spells as Black Mage when I played the game.
From what it looked it looked like the Black Mage that I was watching had 10 spells on their bar now or whatever for each stance or whatever, from fire to ice. So I was just wait, what? So but yeah, it looked a lot more complicated than just the 4 thing. And
yeah, maybe it's a little bit different.
Maybe
I will say sometimes you have to cast. Yeah, sometimes depending on what you're trying to do, you throw in the Fire 2 to hit groups or something, but Fire, Thunder, Ice, Flare, quick cast.
But anyway,
some subclass shit going on.
Yeah. Anyway, we're pretty much just running around in circles. Though.
Yeah.
It's interesting out to see.
But yeah, so I've been it seems like it's more interesting. Anyway, point being though, I will say though, for Conjurer though, at least when you get to the dungeon sort of side of things, you're actually then healing. So then, from what I can tell, the easiest way to level is just to dungeon your way up. So it's like you're actually getting into dungeons quickly as a healer. So you technically kind of get to do more in that sense when you start actually doing the dungeon stuff and actually becoming a healer, rather than like, I'm gonna stand here and do this story stuff and use one attack. Which apparently one thing that's really cool about Summoner though is you can swap between Summoner and Scholar, which is Scholar is the healer side of it, and you can just swap between those and they'll level at the same level no matter if you're doing one or the
I heard
other.
that too.
Yeah, apparently
Convenient.
that's the only one that can do that. So I've got a DPS and a healer that I'm never gonna play the healer.
when you try to get into those dungeons, man, that healer slot's gonna be looking real tempting.
Yeah,
bet.
Oh, I don't know, man.
It's like the difference between instant pops and like 30-minute queues, my dude.
I'll tank. I mean, I've got patience. I'll tank and then I'll play Yu-Gi-Oh or Phantasy Star Online while I'm waiting or something.
Oh god!
I'll just play MSGO during the queues.
There you go.
Me
Oh my
watching
God.
you play online wars and like just doing Yu-Gi-Oh matches and shit, like holy shit. If it takes, I'm kind of glad I skipped out on that even more. Fuck.
See, I was doing 14 while I did MSGO. But speaking of which, MSGO has been the other stuff I've been doing. Phantasy Star Online 2, I've actually not played as much as I want to. It's killing me. But
Too many games, man.
I have like
Too many
20
games.
or 15, I think now, I guess is how many you can actually queue up. But I have 15 daily quests ready to go
Yeah.
for that XP boost. Yeah, so I've been picking those up on all 3 of my characters and just trying to save up some money and stuff for that. And yeah, Final Fantasy VII had to redo Chapter 14 because I was in a hurry and was like, okay, we already saved that, cool, close program. And then I was
Oh
like,
no!
oh wait, I didn't do that. Oh, I guess I got to go
You
back.
sure
And then
didn't?
and then I didn't think, oh, it auto saves, genius. And then I started going through like Chapter 14 again. And I was just like, screw it. I already broke the autosave. I'm just gonna save here, and I'll do this on stream later. And so that's what I did. So we got it on stream at least this time. But I mean, the fights, the simulator is the like hardest part. It actually made all the stuff harder. So I was like not really that keen on doing because I guessed that would be it. And then after I done it, but oh well. So now I got like 2 more books to do because I have to do chapter 9 again. There goes another hour of my life because to chapter 9.
Oof.
And then I pretty much have to get to beat the final fight in the simulator in order to get the last item I need. And I'll be ready essentially.
Is that the big like?
And then we'll do a
rush
speed
thing?
run.
Yeah, and then I'll do
Oh,
the
yeah, that's
speed
right.
run Monday or Tuesday is the
God.
plan. Monday or Tuesday is going to be the plan because
Are
Path of
you
Exile.
sure?
Path of Exile. Well, I mean, if I don't get it by Friday next week, Path of Exile is going to absorb my life.
You're gonna have to sacrifice Path of Exile. Too many games.
So I
Dubious.
finished the challenges in Path of Exile and got the awesome wings that some people thought was a little lackluster. And I think they're amazing because I like Lovecraftian art. So let's get that gray on gray and shiny gray on gray. You know, I'll take it. And then yeah, again, I've been playing too many games. So yeah, that's and GBO2. I think the only thing I haven't mentioned is GBO2, but I think that's obvious at this point that I play that.
Oh yeah, by the way, we're playing Robot War
Yeah,
video games.
we have more salt. But yeah. Oh, how could I forget? Yesterday was session 0 of the tabletop 2.
A little late.
Wait,
Oh my god.
what's that?
That's for the speed run. That's for the speed run.
Oh, that's for the speed run.
Yep.
Okay, I was like, which one?
That's for the speed run.
GBO2.
We need to get a doubt command.
Yeah, doubt for this. Oof. But yeah, tabletop first session 0 was yesterday. Woohoo! So we got all the characters made and stuff.
Actually, that'd be good for an emote, like Octopath Traveler Cyrus. Just have it be doubt.
Doubt.
I could do that.
That would be good.
I mean, I'm
agree.
just gonna take up like my character from Final Fantasy 14 and just have him do the doubt thing, and then I'll flip that out. But Yeah, we'll take that. But anyway, that's been my week. Way too many things, and then IRL stuff. I've been gardening.
Hey.
Not. I've got enough blisters to not reopen blisters now. Woohoo!
Oh God.
We finally got calloused hands.
Yeah, if you've been leveling up your
Overlap.
hand game.
When you protect your blisters with another blister.
But so.
Ow.
But yeah. Anyway, PS5 things. So, Emblem hasn't seen it yet, right?
Correct. I'm gonna watch it after the podcast
Okay, but
with my community.
you don't mind us doing any spoilers because I'm guessing you've already got spoiled on some stuff, right?
I mean, a little bit, but I was hoping to have
I was gonna
fresh
say, actually, if
reactions
that's the
for
case,
the
then like
thing
we should
itself.
just sit
But
on
I
it
can
then.
I can always we can wait till I don't know. I can always just mute up and you can just give me the like
Just
wink.
headphone.
I'll take my headphones off. That way chat can still hear it and talk.
Should I just like hold my hand up or hang on, I'll hold my drink like this. No, I don't know.
Nah, I mean, you can just like give me some kind of sign.
Do the old
Something.
Death Stranding like shh.
Oh, it's just like I haven't played that game.
But yeah, so we
Just
can,
use Wing Zero.
we can go ahead and do that. Me and Gustav can talk about it a little bit, and then you can give us your thoughts next week on a short little thing or something.
Sure, sounds good.
Okay, cool. So go ahead and yeah. Okay, we're good. So yeah, Gustav, what did you think, man? Like, where do you want to start?
I don't know where I want to start because like they didn't go. We already technically had the hardware aspect discussed in a previous like presentation that they did more or less. So it felt like they were just focusing a little bit more on games, and then we finally got the visual release. So let's talk about the console's appearance itself, I guess.
Okay. So which I'm trying to remember my exact reaction. It was like, oh, they're doing the little wavy thing. Here it goes, and it's opening up, and they're gonna reveal it. It's gonna be wow, that's weird.
Yeah. Also, the fact that the secondary version isn't just like a slim; it's literally a diskless version.
Just no drive.
Yeah, there's just no disk drive. So
like,
expecting that because the first thing I said when I saw the one that actually does have the disk drive is like, man, I'm not gonna be able to fit that under my TV, am I?
Oh my god. Well, okay,
Shit.
so they did show.
I have to figure out somewhere else to put it.
They did show. Chad also said that they did show it as well, which we could all just be crazy. But when they were doing like some montage thing at the end there, they showed it laying flat down, and there was a controller.
No, that's not the thing. The fact that it can lay down is fine, and like most of them have been able to do that. My thing is that motherfucker even laying down is too fat to fit under the thing in my TV.
Yeah, I wonder what the dimensions. Wait, so do we actually have the dimensions?
I don't know. It just looks too big.
It looks
like
too
I'm
tall.
using the and I'm using the slim, so like it's not as wide as the original. The original would probably be touching like the top of where my monitor is sitting right now. Like it would be like squeezed in there.
Oh my gosh, I'm gonna call
this.
Looks
Looks like they went back to that kind of size.
Yeah, I'm gonna call this the PS Tall Geese.
Oh my god, yes. I can see that. Untitled PS5.
Oh my gosh. But
also, a lot of the games that came out or that they were showing off, like Ratchet and Clank was pretty cool. I kind of figured that they would try to touch up on that again, but the one that was really surprising was Demon Souls.
Oh, well, here before we get into the games,
I was not expecting to see anything about that.
Before we get into the games, there's one thing that I have to mention though, because I'm just a big sound guy. So their 3D audio that they're working on with their, I think it's called the Tempest system, or something like that. I'm pretty sure it's Tempest. But the that where they're having people set in a 3D sound room to map each person's ear. So they're gonna try to get an array of ears, and you can like take pictures, and it'll try to pretty much guess which one should use for your ear map, whatever that number's called or
Is
whatever.
that for the wireless headphones or whatever?
Well,
that they're
that's not
doing?
only just for the headphones, but if you're using any kind of sound, it's going to do it. You pick the sound for whatever you're using, period. So I don't think it's
That's
just for
interesting.
their headset. I think this is for their sound overall. And what they're talking about, though, is actually having proper 3D sound. So that here's a raindrop. You can hear it. It hits a thing here. It has the same sound here. And like wherever it hits, there's actually a sound coming from that direction rather than like what I have a problem with in certain games right now is I'm playing PUBG. Oh, I hear the guy stepping. He's right in front of me. I open the door. Oh, he's upstairs. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, so like the
You know.
depth. Yeah.
And then when I go into the house, then I hear doom 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 from up here. So there's no like this angle really, right? There's this
Yeah,
angle
so we have like a whole
and this
different
angle.
axis that they're gonna be playing on.
Yeah, so you can actually have like more, like a full 360 directional sound is what this system's kind of supposed to. That's what it's boasting, and I'm like, we have yet to have any reason to do that other than video games. So I'm all for it. Let's go, because I mean,
Yeah,
sound's a big
it'll
deal.
be interesting to see that be adapted to like different hardware, just to see like to what extent they can actually pull that off. But yeah, that'll be good. That's definitely something that we need.
Because
Especially when
currently,
you talk. I'm just looking at Apple.
oh my gosh, because currently, though, like we have the is it one of the Adobe one? I can't remember the name of which
Emblem,
one.
that's lewd.
Oh no,
Over
what's
here
Emblem
showing
doing?
feet pics of the Cubulate.
Oh no, what? What is?
Lewd.
Oh my gosh. Okay, anyway,
TOS.
TOS man, TOS.
It's getting worse.
Oh my gosh. Okay. But yeah, so I just kind of want to talk about the audio thing. The SSD is really cool. Obviously,
Yeah,
they've shown that off.
that was something that they that was something that
But
they
again,
posted in the hardware discussion back in the day.
I mean, the only thing, like the audio thing's a big deal, right? If it can work,
Yeah,
that is huge. That is definitely a game changer.
especially for us, like especially for a lot of streamers, because most of us are primarily headphone users too.
Yeah, and I mean there's a reason why I have this headset because there's literally 5 speakers in each ear that is
Whew.
directional sound. This is a pretty beefy headset as far as like just how much sound it puts out. And
Not bad.
it literally is true surround sound in a headset, which is really awesome. The best headset I've ever had to listen to. Okay, maybe second best, but the other one was in a sound studio, and that one was like 40
All right,
grand.
we gotta kind of keep this.
Oh yeah, sorry, tangent. But yeah, so the yeah, the SSD.
Let's cover the games, and then we'll.
I was
we'll
gonna
call
say
it.
with the games, the SSD hopefully will allow them to do what they said. Is pretty much my only concern, and that's pretty much the only thing I wanted to say about the SSD because
People
they
are
can
gonna
take
be
advantage.
points.
Yeah, if they can do
People
it,
are gonna cutting hairs in terms of just like how much it's actually gonna help or hurt. So
yeah.
we'll see.
And then so the games, pretty much. I know you mentioned Ratchet and Clank there. Which one did you say you were most looking forward to?
The one that I was really surprised about was Demon Souls.
Oh, Demon Souls.
That's
Yeah.
Yeah. Like the game before Dark Souls was a thing is essentially what that is. So I don't know. The one thing I want to know is if it's gonna be a remaster, if
Or
is
is
it
it
gonna
new?
be like an entire reboot? Yeah, like that'll be interesting. And it also means that we're still gonna get like more Souls stuff, which is pretty cool.
Oh, yeah.
Because for a while it didn't seem like we were going to, other than just like Souls-like games. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing more about that. The other big reveal, at least to me, was Evil 7 or Resident Evil Village.
Isn't it 8?
Oh yeah, no, yeah, it's 8. I fucked up.
Yeah, like I was like, oh, but this looks really cool. Oh my gosh, that's kind of interesting. Okay, so we got this horror thing going on. Oh, it's called Village, and then I saw 8, and I'm like, wait, is this? Oh my god, you know?
Yeah, so like the dude at the end was the protagonist, I guess, in the last game.
Yeah.
And the dude that Chris killed, I think, was I forget if they escaped with her or not. But essentially just blew her brains out. So now he's by himself.
That was legit. I was like, oh man, this is crazy. Let's go. I'm pretty sure they're gonna have VR with it too.
Oh yeah,
that's
you
I
know
want to play it
damn
like
well.
that.
Like once we start hearing more about VR, that'll probably be one of the games that they use as an example. I wouldn't doubt that for a second.
And then the old man, and then the dude who was monster hunting. It's like the sword and shield and stuff. A little kind of cartoony. There was an old man, and then he was at a flower shop.
Yeah.
Um,
Little demon or whatever the hell.
Little devils, yeah, little something.
Devil, yeah.
Yeah, there was like little devil something. It was the
So
name of
that's the other thing, right? I want to bring up is that like there was a lot of really cool reveals. A lot of them, I'm a little like on the fence because it's kind of cool that a lot of them are new titles, and yet at the same time for a reveal like that, I'm like literally who for most of these because they're new.
Well, and that's the thing. That was like the only new thing that caught my attention. Also, I did like the one where they were showing off the druid thing. Like you get to play as a druid. I feel like that's like their, hey, you remember the Unreal Engine 5 thing? Here's a game pretty much doing that. That's what that kind of felt like. And it was like, and then there's a dragon, and I'm like, okay, cool. It's a cinematic trailer. One thing I did like is they started off with 2 games that had gameplay. Then I can't remember who goofed, but there was somebody who was like, and here's gameplay.
And it was a cinematic trailer.
And I was like, you know what? I mean, technically, I guess this is on you because you're the dev, but also, you guys were doing good. You didn't say anything about here's gameplay and it's not being gameplay. You started off with 2, so it was like, you're here, and then you're losing points now because now you're just giving me these kind of cinematic gameplay things, and then it was just like,
I guess that's the new thing, right? We have like cinematic gameplay or like gameplay-ish stuff now.
Yeah.
They're trying to blur that line so that people can't completely call them out, but it's not really working.
Yeah, because like, give me the
it's still
UI.
pretty easy to tell that there are parts that aren't actual gameplay.
Give me the actual UI, like the Ratchet and Clank, where it was like hit L1 to do the thing, and you could tell they were actually hitting the buttons, and it was actually doing a thing. Like that's probably decently staged, even, but still, that's more of that's more of a gameplay than any, right? So
Yeah,
like the first 2 was great. And then after that, it was like right after that, it was just straight cinematic. And I was like, well, I mean, I guess that's showing off that's like 2021, 2022 or whatever. Also, I know you played Death Stranding. So how many Death Stranding and Kojima vibes did you get from Pragmata?
Yeah, Pragmata, but it's a Capcom game.
It's a Capcom game. Yeah, I found that out afterwards. I was like, what?
Because I saw it at the bottom. I was like, is this from the Kojima team?
I'm like, this is Kojima. This is Kojima AF.
Like literally, it looked like it was just like a more simplified version of the astronaut dude that they have in their logo and for their art and all that. And I was like, that has to be a new project from them, but it wasn't. So
I'm like, what I feel like what we're gonna find out is this was made in their engine or something. Like I feel like,
or like their studio's like a secondary studio, but they're not the ones publishing it or whatever.
Maybe, yeah, it has to be something like that. Like, because that was just way too close.
Because the biggest thing that we know right now is that like they don't have any major projects happening, and whatever they were pitching originally got canned, so they're just kind of in limbo right now.
Yeah. So I'm just like that one just seemed Kojima AF. Like,
yeah, that threw me for a fucking loop. I that's the other thing about this whole reveal is that because they were leaning so hard on games, I wish we could have actually like have heard more about them, but they're all just like teasers and shit.
Yeah, see, like a couple of those teasers like that. Did that one even say Capcom? I didn't remember seeing a logo.
It said it at the bottom.
Oh, okay. I missed it. I completely missed it. I was
At the very end, there was the thing where it said Capcom, like for the licensing and all that shit. It was just down there.
Yeah, I think me and chat also just missed that entire Capcom thing because I was like, this is Kojima AF. Who's even doing this? They're not even saying who's doing it. And nobody said anything. So either like.
So yeah, we'll find out who the actual dev house is eventually.
Oh yeah.
I think Capcom's probably just going to be publishing it. So maybe it actually is their team.
If it is, then I'm looking forward to it because
oh yeah, that's gonna be some funky shit. We
Oh,
already
yeah.
have another child protagonist, whoever that little girl is. So
Yeah, I was
you
like,
already
oh,
know.
here's BB
We got, an,
2.0.
yep, we got another sad dad in the house here.
Like, essentially, like, she did like robot eye thing, and then suddenly his gear activates or whatever. So I'm like, okay, BB
Yep.
2.0 right
And
here.
they're back on the moon.
Like, yeah,
Yeah,
there was that.
Like, I'm less interested in the PS5 right now, and I'm more interested in all these games and like if they're gonna be on PC or other platforms.
Yeah, like, isn't the
There's a lot of
Spider-Man
them.
thing gonna be PC? Is the current
It
Spider-Man
probably
game
be.
PC?
It's probably gonna.
Yeah, so like, I know people are hyped about that, and I'm like, yeah, but a lot of these, like, other than their
It's
literally
not like a
first,
super PS5. Also, I don't know how I felt about them opening up with like essentially like a enhanced version of GTA 5 right off rip.
oh yeah, there was that. That was
Like for me,
weird.
that set the entire tone for like, yeah, we're not gonna get a lot of weeby shit in this trailer. So like all of the other more like Gundam and all that other shit, we're not gonna hear about that until they had their own thing.
Yeah.
Like we'll probably hear about that from like a digital version of TGS sooner than we would from Sony themselves. Which is kind of a shame.
So I was interested in that old dude and the one guy. The Druid game is what I'm calling it. I don't even remember what his name was because it was one of those just insert crazy thing here. Pragmata definitely left an impression. But again, no gameplay, so it's like about the same thing as the Druid game. It's like all three of these that I've mentioned so far is like cool. They're interesting, but like I'm not like this is not a console seller. It's kind of I guess the big thing I'm getting at. There's nothing here
I
that is
guess
like
that's the bigger thing too, right? Like for me, the console seller might be Demon Souls, but that's only if they are an
yeah, okay, so
exclusive. I don't know
that's
how
one.
many of those I don't know how many of those we can point to and say that's going to be a Sony exclusive, even if it's just like a temporary exclusive.
I forget the second part of the name, but Horizon Travel West is what I'm calling it.
Yeah,
Like that one is the
like
only game I think that I could
that one.
say is a console seller because I'm pretty sure that's just exclusive to PS5.
That and maybe Ghostwire, I guess.
Oh, that yeah. Is that
That
gonna
might
be
be
exclusive?
I'm guessing it might be, but it might not be.
I forgot what it was called. I was gonna call it the Tokyo game, and I was gonna say in the last game,
And Ghostwire Tokyo.
dude. Like I know some people are like, it's supposed to. They thought it was supposed to be a horror, and
It kind of is.
it kind of
A
is,
little
but
bit.
they said that I remember back in E3 they were saying that you would hunt these things down. So I didn't know if it was like an
Yeah.
investigative horror in that sense, or if you were actually literally gonna fight. And so we now actually got, and this is another cinematic gameplay where they fought kind of.
Yeah, well,
So
I was gonna say we saw some of it at least, and then like they pulled back out to the motorcycle thing. It's like, oh,
yeah.
well, this is just more cinematics.
Oh, and then there was that one weird game where it was like Returnal or something, Returnal or whatever it was called, where
Yeah,
she was
I'm
going and
the
dying and
Revengeance Returnaling.
yeah.
And there's so to me, because we had that game and then we had Deathloop.
Oh yeah, and then
So
there was that.
we're starting to see more Western studios do the whole Soulsborne thing, but they don't want to do third person, so now they're just doing like Soulsborne shooters. Where you're
Well,
literally in this literal like die and return to the thing kind of like reiterative gameplay.
yeah, Deathloop's kind of interesting. It
Deathloop
reminded me
seems
of
like it
like
has some interesting like aesthetic to it. Like I like where that was going.
it reminded me of Dishonored kind of
It
gameplay
reminds
is what
me
it
of
looked like.
like super hot a
Oh,
little bit.
yeah, I could see that.
Except that you just do these hard like returns after you die.
There was a couple of weird ones, and I will say the most interesting weird one in the sense of like, okay, I would actually play that probably was the car racing one too, where you could also get out and run around like a crazy person apparently.
Yeah. So I was hoping that that was gonna be more like Twisted Metal,
Twisted Metal, yeah, that's what I was
where
like. I
they
was
have
like,
like the weapons on the cars and shit. But this is literally like just like a rally game, but you can also beat each other up on foot. It didn't seem like they were using too many weapons besides like specials that formed around the car. But maybe we'll see more going forward.
and Yeah, I definitely want to see more Twisted Metal stuff out of that. Let's
Yeah, like
see.
there was that. Remember, there was that big resurgence in like the mid 2000s, because they had Twisted Metal Black and all this other shit, and then like
Yeah.
that just kind of went away.
Yeah, it disappeared.
But I don't know. Maybe we'll see a
Oh,
resurgence if that actually does okay.
but the ghost thing, real
But
quick.
mm,
Like one thing I thought was kind of cool with it is it kind of reminded me of like, could this end up being more of like an RPG too? So like, kind of like Skyrim-ish. I hate to use Skyrim as an example, but you know, kind of like that. Like, I mean, I get the whole hunting things down or whatever. So is this going to end up just being a first-person shooter essentially, with where you have special powers, or is this going to be a like first-person shooter RPG? And that's the only question I
mm,
want answered, because you kind of got to see how the combat works. So, but so you can get an idea. Oh, and that one that we were talking about, the Returnal. Like, it showed a top-down perspective as like you're doing a little like almost Diablo character size thing. Then you had like your third-person shooter thing, and then there was like first-person opening a door. I was like, can this game decide what it wants to be?
yeah, it's a little funky.
I'm just saying, what is this game? I do have to say,
So I
love.
wonder. I guess what I have to wonder is if that was just from like a weird cinematic thing that they wanted to do, or is that actually going to be like a bunch of different perspectives? Because another game that kind of did that at times was apparently Near Automata.
Interesting. That's one I haven't played through
They would
yet.
have these like top down sections and stuff too.
Yeah. So I mean, the third person jumping around and shooting though, that's obviously some gameplay that would be in it. But it was just like, so the third person's definitely gameplay, I would assume. I mean, unless they just really were just like, hey, here's this. We're throwing you completely off guard. Surprise! It's actually a choose your own adventure game. Um, but like, yeah, I was like, can this
That
game
would
decide what it is?
fucking rock my nuts if that's actually where that went.
That would be dumb. That'd be amazing though. Um,
It'd be meme of the year. I don't know
yeah,
if it
I'd
would
be
actually
like,
be good though.
like that's when they revealed that Devolver Digital was actually the ones who were working on that game, because that'd be something they'd
Surprise!
pull.
It's actually just another missed game.
Oh my. But yeah, that's about all I got.
Yeah, same.
Okay. So, ready to wave our hands at Emblem?
Yeah, we good.
All right, your blatant cues have been noticed, Magnum. Glad the kids can come back in.
But yeah, well,
But yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy that the PS5 is a motion-based game. Is that what you were indicating there?
yes, the
Bring the
PS5
PlayStation
itself is a motion-based game. Like you just have
shake
to.
this shit out of the whole box.
Oh my gosh! So yeah, I can't wait to hear your impressions of it next week. Because yeah,
Let's wait for GBO2 on the PlayStation 5.
Yeah, like I feel like the bigger thing now is that now that they've done their own like presentation, we just hopefully get to hear more from other studios and what they're going to be contributing.
oh yeah, that's the big deal. That is truly the game changer. Oh my gosh!
But friends,
No
this
pun
is a
intended.
Mobile Suit Gundam Battle Operation 2 podcast.
Yeah.
Hey,
Let's
so,
talk about that GM triple. Am I right?
oh, GM.
the GM
The
triple.
GM. Guys, they released an overpowered general at 400 cost. What a surprise!
So you're calling busted
Oh,
right out of the gate?
okay. So somebody, and by actually, who was it? Sorry, I'm a horrible person. I'm so bad with names. But
Because like someone in my Discord said it too.
someone
Like,
in chat said, here you go. What do you think of this? It might have been Berserk, but
it probably was Berserk because I
Okay.
think that's the one that said it in
yeah.
mine.
So the thing is, they laid out the stats, and I'm like, okay, on paper this thing is broken. So kind of to elaborate on that, the beam rifle is, I think, 200 higher than any other beam rifle at that cost that does the same, that plays similarly. And I think
The G line standard has a stronger beam rifle and less heat. Or no, I'm sorry. It's the other way around. This uses more heat, but the G-Line Standard has less heat, but it's about I think 200 damage less.
Yeah, well,
But I feel like it.
300
Go ahead.
because it's 16. I just
Is it 2?
yeah, it's 300 less
okay.
damage. So it's 1600, but it has 55 heat.
Oh,
So
you're
you
right,
can
it's
you can definitely
19.
spam it. But that was going to be one of the competitors I was going to bring up. So
Honestly, I think it's very comparable to the G-Line Standard.
Yeah.
The new GM for sure.
So essentially, it does have more damage. As far as the closest beam rifles is going to be the Galbaldi Alpha and the Akzaku beam rifles.
I can see that as well.
Then the main thing, though, between those two suits specifically, what it doesn't have a problem with is after the Akzaku shoots, it's either got a grenade or melee, and that's it. This thing has another standstill missile thing, which I get is kind of clunky to do, but you can just shoot from range with the other missiles, and by then you're already ready to like actually shoot the beam again, and you don't have any heat problems in that regard. And from what is the reload time? Gustav's in a game right now, but if we can get the reload time on the
For the missiles
on the shoulders,
which one, shoulder or leg?
Shoulders.
17 seconds.
17 seconds. Okay, that's pretty good. Okay, that's good. That's really good.
Yeah, let's switch over to the 3 after this match, by the way.
And then I can, I guess, invite you to a custom, and we can test out that flight type thing as well.
Yeah,
because I want to see if the missiles can knock it out of the air.
I wonder if it will.
Speaking
The
of
stagger
which,
value on each missile is only 30.
Interesting. Well, I mean, also if you have a separate page to pull up, check the full custom stagger value, because we found
Page
out that
20.
the full custom, its beam cannons can knock a fly type out of the air. So that buff that they did actually helped out with that. But so I'm really curious to see if this can do it with its missiles. But the thing is, you have its standstill missiles that are staggers, so that's cool. It's kind of like I know a lot of people have been comparing it to an MLRS, but the problem with the MLRS is it fires in a sense the same way.
The
It goes up.
GM3?
Yeah, they've been comparing its hip missiles to
the leg missiles?
to the
Interesting.
MLRS. But here's my thing.
yeah, I can see that.
Is
a little
it goes up, but with the MLRS, they go up. So the thing is, you
It
can
feels more
get
like a
under it.
grenade.
Yeah, you can get under the MLRS missiles. With the
I would say the 3s feel a little bit more precise too, even if they
Yeah.
are a little bit slower.
Yeah, you could actually get something approaching you probably if you shot it right. Whereas the MLRS is like, oh, he's approaching me. The best I can do is look down and pray.
Yeah,
You know,
or hope that he comes from above or something.
Yeah.
Just lands on him.
So once you can get under its guns essentially at a certain point. Whereas I don't know if you could do that with the GM3. But
No, they arc pretty hard.
They
it
do
seems
arc?
like you could just splash them in front of you.
Okay. But so
certain
yeah.
angles you can get them to go straight, and that's actually a lot more versatile too. But like, goddamn.
So I was kind of questioning that one being a big comparison, because everybody's just like, just get close to him in melee law. And I'm like, that doesn't seem to arc as much. But
because they're literally coming from its shoulders, not from its back too, or like from the hips.
Yeah.
Like it's just angled right here.
Yeah, so that's a big deal.
But I kind of wonder, like, if you were to like be like right up on somebody, could you actually get them to just hit up from where they are?
That would be interesting. We can try that, I guess, on the when you get to it here in a second.
I'm out. So if you want to set up the
here, I'll go ahead and
full custom is 40% stagger per shot or per beam, by the way. So looking at 80 stagger build up over 40. It'll be interesting though. Maybe the fact that it's 2 stun sources will override the stagger values and just knock it out of the air.
That'd be interesting.
That's the thought.
Oh, and you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to actually bring up the thing while we were talking about the PS5. Oh well, we talked about it. That works.
Yeah.
Oh well. Anyway, Okay, so yeah, I'll invite you to this one. But yeah, so what do you think though? Let's go back. Let's pull it back to kind of the standard thing, and it's beam rifle and stuff, and the Galbaldi and the Agzaku. So I think it pretty much beats the Agzaku 100%, and the Galbaldi Alpha though, I think it does have a double dodge roll. So I think that gives it a slight edge, but I don't know. I still think the versatility of being able to constantly fire and do stuff uh, gives the GM3 the win over the choice between a Alpha and a GM3.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
it's
I
pretty
think
nice.
G-Line
Like if
standard
you
fans.
value the melee a little bit more, then you'll probably still stick with the Alpha.
And I think G-Line standard fans will definitely like the suit. It's pretty much like what it's pretty much kind of what the full armor the new full armor Gundam was to the standard version in a
Yeah,
sense.
and that's what I was gonna say. Do you think it's better, essentially, than the standard though? It's kind of the question.
Right.
Overall, yeah.
Okay.
It
Yeah.
has the exact same defenses across every level. In regards to like the build up after hangaring, the G-Line standard has slightly better defenses. The GM3 has more offensive potential, even though the beam saber is weaker compared to the G-Line standard. The GM3 is faster when boosting than the G-Line standard. Faster turning on the ground, slower in space turning. Loses out on tackle. G-Line standard gets enhanced tackle from like it gets a damage bonus and enhanced tackle as well, so it does better charge or tackle damage, but that's not a pretty big of a trade-off. You deal more damage than level 3 Gatling Smashers at level 1 of the missiles without losing any range. They probably just fire a little bit. I think the fire rate is a bit slower, but I mean, you're chunking of missiles. Just to put in perspective, like assuming you hit with everything, base damage before like adjustments is 6,000 if you clap with all the missiles. Whereas I think the Gatling Smashers at level 3 get you somewhere in the neighborhood of like 5,700. So you have pretty decent build up there. You also have the alternate stun option. The Vulcans on the the GM3 are better than the G-Line standards as well. The shield is slightly worse on the GM3 compared to G-Line standard. You lose what was it? Second, where the fuck is that shield? You use a little bit of HP. Probably passed over it, but honestly, the big thing though is the G-Line has less. The GM3 has more skills. Like you pick up support skills, so like you get interpersonal radar and maintenance support. For those people who care about it, you have a higher level leg shock absorber. It's 3 compared to the standards 1. Woo! You get force injector, which the GM standard or the G-Line standard does not have.
Oh, sorry.
You're good. I thought you were to add something. I was waiting.
I was saying okay to the missiles not working. So.
But yeah, I think in that case, it's a slightly what is it called? Power creep. It's a power creep version of the G-Line standard. It made people prefer to standard possibly, but it looks like it's a little bit edged because I mean there are downsides. Like you deal more damage with the beam rifle, but that 15 extra % makes you have to wait longer. But you do have a backup stun option with the missiles to fall back on. And like in comparison to other suits, like it's probably comparable to like the other suits as well. It would just come down to preference on swings because it does Fetty swings, right? I think I saw that.
Yeah, it does Fetty swings.
Okay. So I mean, in that regard, it seems pretty similar. In regards to like the other suits, like Yar mentioned the Gabaldi line and stuff like that. Those might just come down to like you don't have the instant gratification with the I guess semi-awkward leg missile stun, but you have the Sturmfaust like on the beta, for instance, or the alpha rather.
Yeah.
Or even like the quick firing multi-stun missiles and stuff like that. So this comes down to what your preference is.
So yeah, as far as just kind of fighting against it right now, like those missiles are pretty nasty. I was not noticing how much
I can believe it.
health I was losing.
And it'll chunk you fast.
Yeah. And those they do arc quite a bit actually. So you could unless the person like pre-aims. So
Yeah, 119 on the Vulcans, so that's not too bad against a flight tape.
Yeah, those Vulcans are chunking. They're the enhanced ones too. Again, speaking of suits having Vulcans and suits not having Vulcans, Emblem, you brought up the Mark III yesterday.
Oh god, yeah. Another suit that has them when it should too.
A 3-star that doesn't have Vulcans feels bad. Just throw a headset on that thing. Let me just snatch that off the Mark II real quick. That's a cool Vulcan pod you got there, kid.
Just take the Zeta's head and put it on there. Since apparently even the Shiki, like, come on now.
Yeah, right. But so yeah, that wise, what suits do you guys think will still be like good picks? I've got a few that I know I would pick, but what are you guys
Like
thinking right
against
now?
the thing or like
Like on the same team with this, because again, this also has the forward the normally the support skill, the forward operating thing or whatever, where the respawn time's shorter.
wait, does it?
Yeah, the
I
front
didn't
line
see
or
that
the
earlier.
front line thing or whatever. Yeah, that's what it is. Which skill is that, Emblem?
It is
You're
frontline
talking about
something.
Yeah, frontline something. The skill where you get to
yeah,
respawn
frontline
faster.
maintenance support.
Yeah, so it has that, which is also kind of
That's nice on a general.
Yeah, so that's the thing. So I could see like 2 of these being on a team and then something else. Is kind of what I was thinking would be what I think our standard team comp's going to kind of show. Also, he's chunking the base pretty well with those missiles. That's actually kind of interesting. Like, just to see a bunch of these like completely kill a base. If you ace a team, that would be ugh. But then there's the so I would say like the Type D. So kind of what I was getting at is like the Type D gun cannon, the Goof flight test type, Pell Rider, either of the Pell Riders, and I mean, again, I feel like this is just a better standard, but that would have been like my only other kind of pick for being like
Also, characters
quote
work
unquote,
on this pretty. I like that.
even with it just being level 1.
Yeah. Because for a lot of this, you're just strafing.
Yeah.
Because you can't fire those missiles while boosting anyway. You can only do it while you're running.
Yeah, that works.
Oh, you can't fire the shoulder missiles while boosting?
Nope.
Yeah,
That's still
cool.
nice that you can move and use them still, unlike the standard has to stand still. What's the purpose? Why is that to stand still? Like
or the SML who has to stand still.
Yeah,
that's really weird.
It just goes down to them slowly phasing out raids and supports.
I said we'd
Sorry,
be
let me
saying
not put
that.
let me take off my tinfoil hat though.
Oh, sorry. If we take off the tinfoil hat, they just hate raids and supports.
Yes, that's much more reasonable.
But
sorry, Gustav, what were we saying?
Yeah.
Just have a low cost MLRS now, but it's a general, so they can actually swing properly.
Oof. I don't know, man. I think Emblem might beg to differ there. There's been a few times he's been like, "How did you baylay me with that thing?"
That's just laggy nonsense, though. But
fair enough.
That's interesting. I'm surprised people are comparing it. Like, I haven't played against it yet. It doesn't seem as scary. Does the stagger value on the Vulcans compare somewhat?
No, it's just the fact that it has all these missiles to barf out of people.
I gotcha. It just feels, I don't know. maybe it's just because I'm trying to compare generals to supports.
That's
But
what I
it
would
just
say.
feels
It's
it
like
feels more
that's
like
why
a
I
G
say it's
line.
like a pseudo version, right? Because it's not super dedicated to it. If anything, that actually makes it a little bit scarier because it can just
Yeah.
kind of do whatever it wants.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah,
crazy thing with
it
it.
just feels like a G line of better output. Like you just trade off a couple of minor things, but you just have better output. Because I mean, the C even has the same part slots as the G line standard across its levels too. It's 42 at level 1, I believe, which the G line standard also has.
Also, this thing has
I think that's what they're going for.
25 melee mod and 25 range mod too,
Yeah,
giving it
better damage.
crazy damage over pretty much any other suit at the cost too. So it's very well rounded, and with the parts you can beef
It's
that up.
practically at like Gundam level as a GM, which is pretty crazy.
Yeah, that's the funny part. So,
Yeah, it almost has better base stats than the level 3 G line standard. And it only beats it in melee. It's 26, 24. So that's just like base value. It's almost better than a level 3 suit. Level 1 has the same, or I might be thinking level 2 actually. Hold on a second. I was looking at the level 2
In a
stats
draw.
earlier. Yeah, I was thinking level 2. So like level 1 is 1500 down on level 3, HP wise.
I actually didn't realize we ended in a draw on that.
Nice.
but yeah, I'll go ahead and bring up
Yeah, the
your
stats are notably comparable.
stream, and that's kind of the big deal. Is like, now I heard in the beta that it was a 450,
Mhm.
and so now it's 400 base, and then it also gained movement speed, but it lost a dodge roll because it had 2 dodge rolls apparently in the beta as well.
Yeah, I heard I had two dodge rolls in the beta also. I don't know. Anybody that thought it was going to be exactly the same as it was in a beta though, like
Oh, well, yeah.
should just realize that the game is vastly different than it was in the beta. Like there's no way it was going to be the same. I mean, the GM Striker I think had multiple swings on its scythe in the
Wow, that's
beta.
crazy.
Like
That would have been cool.
yeah,
But like I think it was just kind
it's just
of,
a different game.
I think more so the like things that was like, oh well, it doesn't have double dodge roll. I think is kind of like one of the big deals, right? Because that some of that stuff, like the speed, obviously, I would think would change because at the cost
Right.
now, just walking speed of supports is higher than a lot of them is what it was in the beta. So in that case, yeah. But like some stuff like certain skills getting changed like that
Mhm.
is kind of interesting. So they kind of, I don't know. I feel like again, it just feels like it is literally the Mark II of 400 now. Like that's pretty much the way I'm looking at it. It feels like you're going to want to bring 2 to 3, depending on if it's 5v5 or 6v6, and then you might have something extra. And I don't know.
Stevie's trying to go head to head with like Barzams and shit.
Yeah.
I'm kind of
Because,
glad it doesn't have double dodge roll though.
oh,
Like
yeah.
it'd be like comparable to the Gabaldi's,
Mhm.
and it doesn't have any of the hitbox, like the notable hitbox issues
Exactly.
that you see with those suits. Like I think it's fine. I also laughed earlier because I was thinking of making my usual remark was like, oh, our general isn't super pushed and broken. Like that's already pretty good. When you should give it maneuver armor as well.
Yeah, right. But I mean, I'm surprised it doesn't have either double dodge roll or maneuver armor at this point. But yeah. So I think, I mean, do you think there's any other suits, or do you think any of those suits I mentioned would be something that you wouldn't bring?
I don't know if it really affects that cost range enough for me to start like shaking up the stuff that I would actually whip out at that cost range, though. Maybe it's just
Yeah.
because like when I was playing yesterday, there was just a bunch of them on the field. But yeah, so far, not feeling it. Not to that extent.
Fair enough.
It's versatile.
I'm curious,
ahead,
like
Magnum.
2 weeks in is going to be, I guess, the real indicator.
I think we'll see some play. Like I think it's right at the cost where like the G line standard shines. and it kind of, as we said, it kind of holds an edge over it in most degree or most cases. So I mean, it's not bad. And as a backup option, has something to do with flight suits. I would say it's probably easier to Gatling smash a flyer over the missiles, but I haven't seen how fast they travel, so maybe it doesn't really matter too much.
It's good for the pressure. I don't know about like specifically hitting all those. They seem a little slow for it.
Yeah, I was able to pretty
Mhm.
much go do like one of these and dodge most of Gustav's missiles. Like,
Gotcha.
so it was one of those I could like just as long as I kept moving and trying to change direction and stuff, I was fine for the most part. And then I would take
Okay.
one or two here and there. But
It does
again,
mean it'll work in tandem with the standard because if you're prioritizing the standard over the GM, you're probably going to run into those missiles a lot.
yeah, and that's what I was gonna say. If
Mhm.
I'm looking at one, there's no way I'm gonna be ready for the other. So
Yeah, I think the big take will be follow-up damage, honestly. Like, because some people, like, I feel like in the G line, you see G line just kind of like G line posing with their Gatling
Mhm.
smashes out a lot,
Hmm.
and I think the punishment will be harder. Well, for obvious reasons, you just do more damage
Yeah, not to
um,
mention like the minute it sees
with
a
the missiles.
knockdown, it can just have those hit missiles come in. Like, well,
oh yeah, and those
Yeah,
chunk.
and since the impact is harder, you probably get a few less. You obviously get a few less missiles out than bullets, but I mean that's 2 missiles a
right?
shot at 200 damage apiece. And they're coming like decently fast enough. Your follow up game at medium range, like against a teammate that's shooting somebody, I feel like will be better overall because of that too. And you don't have to worry about. I mean, you don't have to worry about the Gatling smashers, but there's no worry of stunning your teammate that's murdering this guy on the ground as you follow up with them, and you do more damage. So this seems like a win-win.
Hmm. Yeah,
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see some more gameplay, and I'm sure we'll start seeing some videos of it over time.
Oh, for sure.
but yeah,
Go ahead, man.
I think I'm leaning toward the OP side here a little bit though. Like I don't know. I feel like it's gonna be the new maybe not as OP as like a Mark II though. But like I think it's
Mhm.
gonna be the new standard like general, and there's gonna be like a couple of people who are bringing stuff like the test type because that definitely brings something to the table. And if you're like a support player playing, I don't know, this feels pretty much like you'd be at home if you're a support though. So maybe the Type D might not be your go-to because you got a dodge roll.
Yeah, it's a good alternative if you're not a thing about the Type D in particular. So it'll be a nice alternative for pseudo support players.
And then what else did I say? The Hell Rider suits I think have a spot. Oh, and the BD3. I still think the BD3 is a pretty sound suit with the exam. I could see the argument made that Hades is a little bit unsafe on, say, like the Hell Rider Heavy, but the Hell Rider Cavalry, I think, is one of those suits that you definitely need to be popping Hades just about every time, just because of how much it's got and getting that maneuverability, just being able to chase people down or just move faster in general is definitely to its advantage.
If you're in a fight, use your exams or Hades systems. The only time it's only bad when you die and that touchpad button is still on your screen. Better to have used it and died rather than to have lost it. Or if you don't use it, you lose it,
Now
for lack of a better term.
here was a comment that was made in chat today. Do you think
Mhm.
that some of these suits coming out though is starting to replace, like, if we had a tournament again, right?
Mhm.
Because when the tournament happened, there was Hildoffer for support, BD2 for raid, the rest were general BD3s. Do you think that would still kind of be the case? Anything that would have exam,
Absolutely not.
or do you think that we've got these new suits that just have base stats and that extra exam and dodge roll is probably not worth it? Because that exam only lasts a minute, and
Yeah.
then you have to tap your legs or do something else. And I'm wondering if in a team situation, could a team use that 1 minute to do a bit more, and then plan when they're going to run out if they can, and either wipe or get reset kind of thing, or are they going to go be able to repair at their base if they time it right? That way they're all able to repair enough so that they're not just going to get insta tapped and then their legs are broke again. Like, I'm kind of wondering on the like a team level, pro team level kind of situation.
Like, are we
Right.
seeing suits that just like are consistently high performance enough that like having that burst in performance doesn't really matter?
Yeah.
I feel like in some cases they're already there with like higher cost stuff just because of all the Zeta suits, but like I wonder if that's going to be the case for low cost now too.
Because I mean, this would be one of the suits that kind of made me start thinking that, because it's 400 where the BD stuff really comes into play. Now at 350, I don't think we've gotten anything that competes with the cavalry at all. I still think it is.
The cavalry, any chance we had of that was fucked up by the cavalry coming into play.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
like raid wise, I could see the BD1 at that cost potentially seeing play, but it's probably still a bit too squishy for meta players to want to run it. And I don't think we would see the Afreet Kai.
Yeah, there are some people who do some work in it, but like consistently, probably wouldn't be the Kai.
But yeah, I think 400 now has kind of got enough of a roster that we might have seen the final days of the Supreme BD units, and especially up though, like you said, with Zeta stuff now, like yeah, definitely. Like
yeah, high cost, like it would be Rick Diaz Mark II.
Yeah, there's just suits that have the same output and performance without having to have the extra gimmick. Yep. And they just are like that all the time.
But cool. Any other thoughts on the GM3?
It's kind of weird because I can't say that I want it. Like, I do have it. I'm excited to play more matches in it. I don't know if it's going to completely replace anything else that I run at that cost. Mostly just because I stream, right? Like, I'm never like abiding by the meta too much, but this probably fits into that category pretty well, regardless.
I think if I in that kind of thought, I think I kind of want it, just because after I've been looking at it, I'm like, ooh, I'm a support guy, and this kind of feels like sort of a support. Yay, let me have it. But other than that, it's not like I feel like it's a must-have, because I've got so much at 400 and 450 already that I like in general. Specifically because the 450 buffs to the Gelgoog Marine Commander. Oh man, I love that suit now. One of my favorite suits. So, but yeah, what's your thoughts, Emblem?
Oh, I mean, like I was saying, we probably see the usual suspects. High cost, like I said, Mark II, Rick Diaz, Zeta Gundam, Kaplant. If we even have raids, I don't think they'd have a raid, honestly. Maybe, but I don't even think they would. MLRS for sure. I don't think you'd see Jaeger. Definitely not full armor Gundam. Depending on the cost, maybe the Mudrock if it was like lower than MLRS, but Hildolfer might still probably outshine it. I don't know. It depends. I haven't played it. I haven't really seen it very much, so maybe not. Maybe the changes were enough. Like I still feel like it can still do the stuff that it needs to with a competent team. Is why I would say like the Hildolfer would still be relevant. Because like it's not like it's in a rated match where you have to kind of perform on your own. You're doing it in a tangent with coordination. So that's kind of why I feel like the Hildolfer would still kind of have some kind of presence.
Maybe, yeah. I could see it being a thing. Like I could see that would be one of the up in the air suits kind of thing. Like, yeah, we could fit it. that would be kind of team preference.
I will say one thing that I forgot is that this also has ground preference
Mm-hmm.
for the GM3.
Immediately makes it better.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh no.
Because I was about to take it up into space, like, but
I was curious to
but
see if I would see it.
400 is hard. Yeah, it'd be interesting. I mean, I think the G-Line standard has some kind of space setup. Like I think it has space preference.
nope,
Just comparing it to that. Does
it's
it? Does it
got
not?
neither.
None. Okay, interesting.
I mean, it is standard.
It's just
I
interesting in that regard because the G-Line standard has slightly better space performance than the GM3 in regards to like turning speed,
Turning
according
speed
to the
60
JP Wiki.
versus 57. Yeah, so like by 3.
That's kind of interesting. But yeah, I think it's definitely a solid suit. If it's your favorite suit, then Merry Christmas at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know some people who've been wanting it. Like, it was there in the beta, I want it now. So there are some people who are really happy just because, yeah, it's definitely top tier suit.
I feel bad for Asian Noob who was trying to get it yesterday. He
He
couldn't.
doesn't have it.
Oh
That's
no!
unfortunate. I should roll on it a little bit so that I can have one and lord it over him.
Oh my, that is
Oh
horrible.
no. I was gonna say maybe you should donate to him so he can try to feed his addiction to get it, but not just gonna make it worse.
I did get. I got the flipper yesterday. I was like, I got something I kind of liked yesterday, but I got all Medeas, and that was it. The one fat uncle I got gave me a weapon. But I at least got a 2-star out of a red box from a Medea, so I'll take it, I guess. But still. So I finally got my flipper. So now I got my stealth space suit to torment people in.
Red shoulder.
But anyway, so yeah, we can go ahead and I guess get into the rest of the patch notes.
Sounds good.
Yeah, let's take a look. I feel like there was more stuff that was mentioned around the actual update than that was actually in the update itself.
Yeah, so that was going to be the first thing I brought up was they added a level 4 and 5 Egan and a level 4 and 5 Kamuf. That's pretty cool. Here's what you
Not
guys
in the
think of.
patch notes though.
Yeah, not in the patch notes. Yeah, that's what the weird part was. So, but they're in there. So if you get one, that's pretty legit. I mean, personally,
Surprise.
I think the Gigan is going to become my new 350 if I get one. If I get the 350 of it, I'm going to be using that because they're just a turd of damage anyway. Normally I'm playing at 350 either the Dom multi-cannon or the gun cannon mass production. So I see
Not
this
the
kind of as
Zaku cannon?
well, there's not a 350 Zaku cannon, but I do take in the
Oh, is
300
there not?
Zaku cannon.
Well, I guess that's right. It skips 350 and goes to 400, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That's right. Okay.
So I've always been on a hunt for what I use at 350. So I like the Dom multi, I like the normal gun cannon, and I like the mass production. So now I've got the Gigan though that I'll definitely add to that list probably, just because I mean it's kind of the same thing I think, only with more damage output than the gun cannon mass production. I'm just curious to see the stats on it and see how it scales up, and then you're going to have the level 2 complex expansion slot on it, and that's going to be amazing. So I brought these all up in Japanese. Whoops, time to reload.
Rip.
So first thing in the notes though, I guess we can let's finish about the Kamuf. What do you guys think about the Kamuf and Gigan though?
Surprised that those are the ones we touched on because we were talking about them before the actual drop, expanding some of the lower level suits.
Mhm.
But originally it was supposed to be like GM or like Zaku Cannon, like that kind of stuff. So that
Yeah.
was nice. Both of those suits are suits that I use pretty regularly in their cost ranges. So having like other ranges to try them out in should be interesting once I get them.
The Kamuf,
It'll
though,
be
I'm not
interesting.
sure. I feel like, I mean, essentially what I feel like here is the Kamuf now goes up to 350, and then at 400 you have the Zuda F, which is just pretty much going to be a continuation kind of thing.
Yeah, the anti-ship rifle is I think the big pull that keeps it relevant.
Pretty much.
Just for the knee stagger, but I don't know. We'll have to see. Like you have good follow up with knee stagger and a Sturmfaust, or just a straight up knockdown Sturmfaust kind of thing, depending on how close you're able to get. So we'll see.
That shield has a
'Cause, I
huge
mean,
hitbox.
it does, yeah. So I feel like the main reason that the Kamuf is able to be so powerful because not only does it have a really strong weapon at a low cost, but it has like it doesn't have a dodge roll, but the moveset is so, or the equip set is so good, like on it. And I mean, false beacon plays into account in some degree, but suits are getting faster at that cost.
Yeah,
So I
350,
don't
I
know.
don't know.
It'll be interesting.
300, I think it has a place, but 350, again, the cavalry exists. So
Yeah. Be a little dangerous for sure.
I think
Especially especially for the Gigan if it still has like that low health pool.
that's what I was gonna say. The Gigan is like paper thin. Like I go to attack a Gigan at 200 with the like at guy, and I accidentally miss it with like 3 attacks or sneeze sideways, and I'm like, oh, I still killed it. Okay, whoops, my bad. Sorry, yeah. Whereas like
Way to
anything
go.
else, it's like, okay, I got to combo this Zaku Cannon, or he's gonna be calling his friends, and I'm gonna be in pain. So I gotta hit this, or I'm screwed. Like where again, or if I hit the shield on the GM cannon by accident. Whereas Gigan, it's like, oh, you did. So that's gonna be the question. Can a DS just go up and be like, smack, smack? Okay, it's dead. Now kill me. I've done my job, and that's what I'm gonna be afraid of. But will it have damage? I don't have any doubt that it'll have the damage numbers that it needs.
Hmm.
But again, like stuff like the DS or even a Noct coming in and just being like, "What's up? Oh, I just said hi. Why did you explode?" So yeah, I mean, not that supports don't just die instantly anyway when a raid at that cost gets on them. It's just the Keegan is still that squishy.
They'll still die at a reasonable rate.
Yeah. But this one's just guaranteed to die when it happens. Like that's when you're picking a damaged turret that is going to explode if they get on you at that point.
Mhm.
Which, I mean, that's kind of my play style. So I'll take it. I'll take glass cannon.
Intensify.
Pretty much. Always. Cool. Anything else on those 2 suits?
Give them to me.
Like I said, I want the 350 Gigan, for sure. So I think I know we mentioned it, I think before the podcast maybe, but I don't know if we've said it yet. But if you get the figures, they got a code in the boxes. So
Yeah, for the Gundam Universe stuff, right?
yeah, so Gundam Universe figures, you
Get
can
the
either get
Easy 8
the
level.
you get the
Do we
Easy
actually
8
have a
level
link for
1.
that?
Yeah, here I got
They
the
put it in the English info bar.
Oh, okay. Oh, no, I didn't see it.
there it is in the Discord. Here I'll even so yeah, you can get if you have the Wing Gundam Zero, Endless Waltz, the uh, Gundam Easy 8, or the Strike Gundam of those figures. they'll have a special code is inserted in each package, which cool. It's kind of
Level
awesome.
1 easy.
Yeah,
And you
here
get the
goes your
level
cereal
ones.
box Gundam.
Yeah.
You get a DP store suit. Woo!
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of cool that they're starting some kind of collab with other things. So,
Oh, speaking of collabs, we got that other announcement too.
oh yeah, that is true. I guess we could go ahead and do that now if we want. But what do you guys? I mean, I think this definitely opens up some interesting hope that they could do some more cool things.
Oh yeah, it's a great idea.
I mean, they've always had
All
the
things
ability. It's
considered.
just that they're actually acting on it now.
Yeah. So like, it's
Yeah.
I feel like it's one of those like should have been doing this way before this, but I guess better late than never.
Yeah. Because I mean they had something, was it a book or a gunpla that had something back when it was still in JP? So
I know they had the exclusive cards. They're like point cards or whatever that had them on there.
I mean,
yeah,
they
they
always
did
had,
something similar.
but that was just JP stuff, right? Because like they
Well, yeah.
they had the like vacuum cleaner and stuff too that they did.
Well, no, I'm not talking about the
Oh, yeah, the giveaway.
prizes. Yeah, I'm not talking about that. I'm pretty sure they had a like code inclusion with another
Oh, okay.
product.
Okay, that's what you're saying. Yeah.
Back in JP. And that's more what I was getting at. Like I think stuff like that is always good. Like think of how like Wizard of the Coast, just for a similar example, doesn't really give very much like product code for Magic Arena under physical product. Like I think mixing the game into your physical product is a really good call. It pushes sales. Like granted, I think the Easy 8, I know there's an Easy 8 figure. Maybe it could have done a higher level or just did a actual relevant suit. Like
yeah,
I think that would have been pretty cool.
Yeah.
I feel like they're trying to tread that line between like wanting to have something cool in there and not want to be like, you're just buying power now. Oh my god,
Yeah, because I mean, I'm not asking them to put the Mark II in there or anything, but like, I think it'd have been cool, like, to introduce new mobile suits. Like, just put a throwaway suit in there. Give people the Hyaku Shiki level 1 when they buy this or something like that.
Ouch.
Like,
oof.
Yeah, I mean, it's a raid, and I hate to say it. And it's honestly a bit of it might just be me messing around, but you get the idea. Like just like put something new in there. Like the level 1 Easy 8 is a suit that came out like pre-Western release. It's a DP store item that has been in the store for forever. It just that was kind of weak.
Yeah, at least
but the idea itself. Yeah, the idea itself is pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
I just think
or even
they
if
should
it was like a
sweeten
bundle,
the pot.
right? Like maybe some parts or whatever else with it.
Yeah, the idea here, though, this isn't marketed towards the people already playing Battle Operation.
No,
this is more for the people. Yeah, this is for the people already playing. Like, oh, the Easy 8. I bought this universe figure. What's this Battle Operation game or whatever?
Yeah.
And then they realized that they were freaking giving them like, like how you go to game stores and they have like free like handouts and stuff like that. Like, you realize that you were just given the door prizes that were left over.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what they put in the box.
Special prize is like $1.
Yeah, pretty much. It was like 10 cents. But whatever. It's the idea is good.
Yeah.
Do more of it. Put a Blue Destiny unit in there or something next time at least. Put a cavalry in there.
So the next thing here is they're doing these. So this is this extreme versus character, or which character is this?
I think it's technically one of the manga characters from that weird crossover thing that the Maxi Boost OG or whatever's are from.
Yeah, I tried my damnness to actually try to find some stuff online, and literally all I found were waifu figures.
That's funny. So but yeah, this character is coming to be an operator or navigator. What are they for us?
So one of the translations.
I think it's called navigator.
Navigator.
Yeah, I think it's said nav on the Japanese announcement or whatever, and someone on the Japanese side was like, "Well, I thought the whole point is that we didn't want to hear her anymore." So apparently people don't like her
Oof.
as a character. Like, so hopefully she's not super annoying. Find out.
Hearing rip. But yeah, so there you go. Another navigator.
For those of you at home who may be watching the podcast and have actually had the stream pulled up, it's this person. Yay, waifus. Woo!
Yeah, and then
By Neidhart who? Coda what?
Yeah.
Carry whom?
It's funny because technically it is just another Gundam OC, but like
This is a
At
step
least
in the right
it's not
direction,
just
though. I'm glad to
a
see
game,
somebody
yeah.
out of the base camp. Yeah.
But yeah, pretty much. It's kind of cool that they're branching out at least. That gives me some hope about what we were talking about earlier. Like, maybe other characters will show up and have cameo voices or something.
yeah, eventually.
Come on, Sama, Banzai, yeah. Give me the loot. Come on, anniversary's coming up. Give me them
Gotta get that
Haman
on.
voice lines. Hell yeah, the Q-Blade's coming on the anniversary, probably, maybe.
Man, if
Hopefully.
they made that part
If
of
it-
a
I can
gacha
dream.
man, people would probably be spending on that.
I'd
shit.
roll.
If the
I'm saving my tokens up. I'm ready.
oh man,
All those G's that want Haman to step on them, like just be
Yeah, step on me, Haman. She'll come flying down in the HLV, and
Oh,
I
no.
just want my character to be laying like when the hatch comes down, I want my character to be laying in front of it. So when Haman steps out and I unlock the navigator, she can walk all over me before coming onto the base
Literally
camp.
just takes out your entire
Yes.
screen. Like, well,
Yes, please
then
do.
the
That-
Dark Soul screen comes up. You died.
I died the way I lived.
Under the crushing weight of Haman Khan. Jesus.
But yes, please.
But for real though, if the Cubilee is not in the anniversary, I don't know. I don't even
See, it could be like Bondoc and Hammurabi and the Masala or something, or like we'll release the Cubilee eventually.
Oh my gosh. It better be like the O and the Cubilee and the Bound Dog better be all in there. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, that's me too.
Like, those are the 3 suits I want to see in the anniversary period. But yeah. Okay, so there's a step up. For
There's
the
a discount or
GM3.
what?
Yeah. So half off, step 1. Everybody do that one. Can highly recommend. 10 out of 10.
Yep, got the GM.
I'm waiting. I'm saving for the anniversary. Unless if you want the GM3, it's not a bad suit. You should roll for it. But anniversary, hold the door.
Just do the
Anniversary
half off.
is coming.
Do the half off.
Anniversary is coming.
It's so close.
I will say though, try to have like 90 tokens just in case they try to pull an FB again.
Oh my god.
I got like
yeah.
300. Hold the
What if
door.
they do?
Hold the line. Anniversary.
Watch it be the Cubilee.
But yeah,
I'm ready.
I would not spend
I'm
pretty
ready to
much
not get it.
on
You're ready to
anything.
be mad at what it turns out to be.
There's too much anniversary hype going on here. But yeah, the other 3 though, I would don't step up, step back.
Don't step on.
Don't step up, step back.
Yeah, step back from 2 to 4, I would say, because anniversary's coming. Sorry, I'll join in on that one too. So yeah, I think we're all in unanimous agreement on that one.
Yep.
Okay, so we talked about the GM3 boot, normal suit. Normally where they would say that there's new suits is not there at all for some reason.
Yeah. I wonder if they'll like do an edited version eventually.
Probably. And then the ticket shop stuff. So we can go ahead and talk about that. I guess we'll go left to right here. The VG level 2. What do you guys think about that?
VG is a solid suit. We talked about that before.
Oh, for sure.
My thing is that
Hey,
cost
Another cost.
Mark II. Kind of the.
I mean, if you just at this point you just have to get used to it, or you just are bad. Like it's not going anywhere. They're not going to change it.
Well, I mean,
it's just a constant for that cost range.
I mean, what I'm saying though, for the
sanity, just get good with other suits so you don't have to play the Mark II when you eventually or never get it.
I was gonna say, if you already have the Mark II and you're trying to make a decision on your tickets for a pick of, you know, which one's probably gonna be better, if you already have the Mark II, then maybe save your tickets. But this is probably one of my favorite General Gelgoogs, other than I guess now the Marine Commander. So
Commander's really come a long way.
I was tempted to get it, but I ended up getting the level 1 of the Rickdom 2 GH, which is the other one, is the one on the right side. But yeah, I do like the VG. I kind of want it, but one day. So I guess since I already mentioned the GH, what do you guys think of the GH? Unless you have any other thoughts on the VG.
Yeah, VG's solid. It's no Mark II, but it's not a bad suit either.
If you like the Gelgoog cannon, you'll be right at home with this thing.
Oh yeah, extra maneuverability, just general privilege. You'll be happy with it.
Pretty much. So, but yeah, Rickdom 2 GH, the Cloud Dom, which apparently somebody had a post of it in colors like Cloud, which is great. I want to see that. Somebody has a picture of that.
Who's Cloud? I thought that was Guts' Dom.
Sorry. So you could also have Guts Dom. Playing Dom.
It just depends on the brand of weeb you are.
Yeah, whichever big sword. Insert big sword character
person
Dom.
Here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was actually thrown off. Like everybody on my side always calls it Guts Dom. So somebody's like the Cloud Dom, and I had to think about it for a second. Like, who Cloud Dom? Like I was used to calling it Guts.
But
yep. Hi-yo.
Oh my gosh. But as far as the suit goes, the Rickdom 2 is an amazing raid. Just I'm bad with shooting every one of its weapons. But it has 3 stuns. It has a Sturmfaust, it has its chest beam, and it has the grenade for the MMP-80 with the grenade launcher. And then you just completely just mess up the support for 9,000 damage with your downswing, no big deal, because it's a 2 hit.
It's also one of those that you really got to get your depth perception oriented on that, because you can have a lot more reach than you might think.
Yeah, you get a little bit of slide. You unleash a tomahawk.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much. So, tons of stuns, crazy clapping melee. Yeah, it's good, and it's 400 and 450. So, have fun.
Oh wait, no, you're talking about the GH. Never mind.
It
hits hard.
Oh, yeah,
I gotcha.
We're not to the Dewage yet.
I thought you wanted the Dewage level 2. Okay.
Yeah, we're not to the Dewage yet. Yeah, we're on the GH. We're still on Guts.
Okay.
We're still on Guts and Cloud.
Same concept applies, though. I get what you're saying.
Yeah. But
you get that sweet instant knockdown, and a sword acts like a shield.
Oh yeah, and that's the
other doesn't have health, or supposedly doesn't have health.
Good news is that it acts like a shield. Bad news is that it also acts like a shield. So if you get hit in your sword while it's on your butt, it'll still stagger you over time.
Pretty much. But I think it's top tier, unless you're playing on Dark Space. Then it kind of feels a bit weak because it's got way too much to have to maneuver to get to a point to smack. You don't chop in half, you smack with that sword.
Great cleavers are made for bludgeoning, not cutting, or whatever.
For the Guts reference, Clang.
You lost me. I never seen Berserk.
Oof. Well, you're
Sorry, I can only mimic
it's
what I've
good
heard.
it's good that you've never seen Berserk and the new CG, the newest. What was it,
I'd say
2016?
it's best to not be aware of the nuance beyond the memes.
Yeah,
At least
like
then you don't get to be mad about it.
yeah, pretty much. Oh my gosh, don't remind me.
It's so funny.
Dude, like the CG's so
The
bad.
fucking GIF where that thing that you were talking about before, where it was like him walking and it was like really weird. It didn't sync up with like how big he is. Someone did a cutoff where they just drew like these tiny little feet.
Oh, I know
Nice.
what you're talking about.
It's so good.
It's so good. But yeah,
It's
one of the
good,
sound effects for the
it's from
sword,
a bad thing.
like the sound effects for the sword though, is just like clang, 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 clang. It's awful.
And they just kept using the same one, but like for the whole thing.
Yeah. So I don't even want to. Yeah. It's just bad.
Goofer.
Anyway.
Back on.
But yeah, the Rickdom 2GH, really good raid. Definitely collapse in space. Pretty much any of the maps, unless you're in like say I guess dark space or the resource satellite where it's in the open area, is pretty much where it kind of suffers. But any of the interior stuff, which they've just made, we have 2 now, so you gotta, kind of like a 3/4, I guess, of almost like maybe 60% of its effectiveness on all the maps, because resource satellite's kind of half and half. But yeah, it's definitely a good suit. It's one of my favorites. So, you guys have any thoughts? Anything else?
I want to run it more, but yeah, some of the when it's on, it's on. Like just being able to smack people upside the head with that thing is really fun.
I can just hit a stagger. That's my problem. I miss everything. Like, I'll miss the stern
Space is
pals.
hard.
Yeah, pretty much.
I just love that it's a stun machine. Like if you could just turn that into a general and give it a regular saber, I wouldn't even really
No.
care.
No.
Hey,
No.
now hold on there. Raids do
You
get something.
take your Rick's Dom too, and you like it, okay?
No,
Hey, I do like the
I
Rick
mean,
Dom too.
I actually like the GH better than the 2.
Yo, well, yeah. But I do like the 2. But I guess we got the last one here, the GM Cannon 2, level 1. And by the way, the GH was level 1 and 2, so you can get both of those.
Mm-hmm.
So GM Cannon 2, you probably heard us talk about it before. But if you haven't, it's thick. You got tons of defense.
Yes, it is.
And you are hard to kill. 400 cost base. Just have fun being tanky. And also, 400 cost base with the new GM3, you just, like, your ballistic resist is gross. I deal less damage with the Dom Barrage to the GM Cannon 2 than I do to a raid. So, you have all the ballistic resist that you need to just be like, oh, you're shooting missiles at me? Pretty much. So, yeah. This suit's probably
Is
not
it Dom
bad.
Barrage a new suit?
Huh?
Is it Dom Barrage a new suit? I don't think I've ever seen anyone play that
Oh
before.
my gosh. I completely just was like, you got me. Got him. But yeah, GM Cannon 2, can recommend. Definitely top tier. Definitely one of the more defensive supports. Pretty much what I got to say about it.
Yeah, it has the bulk to make raids initiate and cry on the off chance that your teammates show up, and then proceed to crush that raid into the ground because your teammates are unable to follow up on the enemy team, creating like making their line weaker to handle one threat, while your team gets 2v forward because they can't handle those 2 guys, while you're keeping like 3 of them busy in the back getting murdered.
Clapping.
Yeah, don't worry.
I mean,
I'm
I would
totally
say
not salty.
I would say this sounds like salt, but also I'm hearing a lot of truth here. I've been playing Raid recently, and I'm just like, yeah. I pretty much I feel like if you don't get one kill, that's why I hate when I see stuff like this. Kind of back to that like Gigan talk. Like when I see one, I'm like, yes, I can definitely kill you before they can kill me. And then when you see one of these, I'll be out in like the BD2 or something, or the G line assault, and I'm like, why did they pick the GM cannon too?
See, Magnum's starting to see supports less as individuals and more like pieces of meat.
No.
You gotta know which ones you gotta know which ones you can snatch up and eat them up real fast and get out of there.
Okay, well I already do. I see everything.
I had to call the FBI.
Hang on. Here's the problem, Emblem. I'm a support main. I see everything as my prey because I can just,
right. You're a bully who rains death down on people from a distance.
And I have my hubris. Remember the support hubris that you were talking about?
Oh yeah, don't worry.
I gotta not fear raids as well. I don't fear raids until they get up on me and I'm like, oh no, please, can we talk about this? But yeah.
Then you just unleash your pocket sand general on them and you both bully him into the ground.
I'm like, haha.
Surprise, there was an Efreet in my shield. And you just murdered him. They should give that to the MLRS. Just have a secondary that like acts as a portal for your generals. Just the shield opens up and one of your teammates step out. It's like, haha. Do you think that would help people who complain about supports not being able to handle themselves against raids?
Oof.
They just spawn teammate ability.
Oh my!
You're just like fighting and one of the blues just disappears. Like
what the hell am I?
Where'd he go?
Or just have. Oh, here we go. Speaking of which, yeah, that'd be kind of cool. You could actually deploy on top of your.
No, it wouldn't. No, it would not. Fuck that.
Fire Emblem Heroes has something like that. There's a certain ability where, like, if the condition is met, your unit can move towards other allied units. Like, say if they're low on the map and they would normally not be within range to move, you can just like get in there. Be like, surprise!
I don't need that battle.
I don't know, Emblem. You're the one who brought it up.
So that generals wouldn't use it. I know, but it's just a joke. Like, delete the VOD.
Delete.
Don't post this one up on YouTube.
This episode can't be posted.
Sabotage. Where's my phone? I'm gonna play some copyrighted music over my mic right now. Yeah, yeah. Sabotage the whole damn podcast. I guess you could just mute it, but whatever.
Quickly turn Emblem's volume to 0. Go.
We're like, nope. We must preserve this idea.
Okay.
The podcast rejoiced. We appreciated the 2-man PS5 talk anyway. It could be just more of that.
Oh. That's what the Methus can do. That's what the secret. That's what the Methus can do if it's a support.
Summon other teammates
for other people.
Okay.
Just a way Zetas all show up.
Oh my.
I think reposition abilities would be interesting. Like I think we talked about before, but just abilities to like actually reposition people. Like pull, push.
Kind of crazy.
Yeah, cool.
Stuff like that. I don't know about spawning people, but like being able to like blitz crank someone or something would be pretty cool.
Yeah, like if the goof could just be like, get over
here.
Yeah. So, but anyway, DP store stuff that was added. Watch level 2. It's good. I like it anyway. 450 cost. Tomahawk. Get that scoop to whoop.
Yeah. At level 2 though, like just in regards to Dom raids, you kind of have to decide whether or not you want to do the high mobility or the watch at that point.
Yeah.
Like one's not strictly better than the other. I think it just comes down to utility. I personally would probably run the high speed over the Dewaj, just because the instant knockdown is such a good tool. But like both are nice suits for sure.
Also, one thing that a lot of people miss too is the Tomahawk does a knee stagger if you just
Knee stagger. Mm-hmm.
just do the normal hit. So
Yeah, we're so thirsty for the big scoop.
Scoop to whoop. Yeah.
By the way, I'm gonna have that as like an emote finally. I'm gonna have the Tomahawk and the Gog Claw, and maybe have like the once I get the Zoc, have the Zoc Claw, and I think that's gonna be the Scoop to Whoop emote.
All of them together or like separate?
All of them together, like kind of have like a one in the middle and two kind of crossing kind of thing.
Oh, okay, like a coat of arms kind of deal.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but yeah, that's definitely going to be an emote at some point. But anyway, the Dewaj level
Hopefully
2
it's not
though.
too loud. Mm-hmm.
Wait,
Yeah,
what?
it's not bad.
Hopefully what's
I
not
was just
too
saying,
loud?
hopefully it's not too loud with the emote. Like, there's not too much going on.
Oh,
It's kind of because how small it's going to be. You maybe just get to the point
okay.
like,
That's
what is
what
that?
kind of like how
yeah.
the Dom Barrage like is like people's like, what is that? Hang on, let me.
It's a smudge.
Okay, that's a barrage. I will say there's been like 2 people have been like, oh dude, that's a Dom, or oh dude, that's a Dom Barrage. There's been like only 2 that I've heard that actually knows what it is, like without having to like
Without
be
having
like,
to ask.
click, you know.
Right.
But
anyway,
yeah.
that aside, yeah, the Watch isn't like a terribly bad suit. I mean, it'll run to the same slew of problems that most raids do.
I mean, I actually think it has some benefits though, with how
Mhm.
tanky they made it, because they buffed it not too long ago and gave it a ton of health.
You're
and
right.
Its resistor huge. Like I've been taking the level 1 into mix up because I have
Mhm.
47 melee res. So once I die 4 times, I'm like, hit me, I dare you. You can, come on, Mark Twos.
Sorry, I forget mix up is a game type. I don't really play it that much. I don't like mix up too much. Like it's okay for a couple of Magnum.
What?
Magnum?
Am I still here? Can you hear me?
Is he frozen? Is he frozen in Jim Carrey like posed?
I
He's
can
back.
hear you
Okay.
guys. I
Yeah,
can hear
he
you guys.
was-
I think the stream might have died, but
Yeah, your Discord did too, buddy.
Yeah,
At least he was
so-
frozen.
I could hear you guys though, which was weird. So my upload
Hmm.
just kind of went. So
Just went down the toilet.
yeah, so I don't know if it ended, but oh well. Well, if it did, then we'll edit it in post. If not, then hallelujah, that saves me time. So anyway, the Dewaj though, yeah, you were mentioning the mix-up thing, but I mean, kind of what I mean by that though is it has
Right.
such high base defensive stats that they added to it, and plus that extra health, it actually has it's pretty thick for a raid. So it kind of has
Yeah.
that GOG kind of feel. Only this thing's actually pretty quick.
Mhm.
So that's why I like it, because it's one of the more defensive raids. So it is a little forgiving when you do kind of mess up, but
It's nice too. Like I think some of the better raids have the high damage single hit payoff. Because I mean, I fall for the trap of combo raids all the time, where like you can do all sorts of stuff, but realistically, there's the raids with a lot of moving parts are just really hard to get everything off. Like you really just need to get your big payoff and then get out of there. But man, comboing is so much fun. Like I
Oh,
don't.
Yeah, it's always too tempting to try to stay in there and just like
Yeah.
intimately whoop the shit out of somebody.
Like I want that support to know as I'm spinning around him, just tickling him to death,
Doing a
that he is
circle strafe.
that unless somebody comes and saves him, that like he is in my world and I will choose whether or not he lives or dies.
I know that feel too much, and oh my
Yeah.
gosh, I hate Striker Customs,
Like,
which at least we
I
got the
want
detector.
you to feel helpless. I want you to feel helpless, support. I'm your daddy now.
Like one of my best moments, like Striker, I've done that a little bit, but like the Kaplant the other day I did that and I was like, oh my god. If I could just do that all the time, it'd be amazing.
Which this does have
Realistically, you're a stepdad. And the Mark II shows up and is like, I'm actually your daddy. And it's like, ah! So you're the support's grandfather? Ah!
The Raid's out here whooping out a family tree, like, where the fuck does it end?
Yes. The freaking top of the tree is always the Mark II right now, and then everybody else trickles down somewhere in there. And you'll find a Zaku 2 at the bottom, crying somewhere. Or sorry, the Zaku 1. I don't have maneuver armor.
I don't know. When I'm playing the MLRS, I'm like, I feel like I trumped the Mark II though. But that might just be my support hubris showing.
It probably is.
But yeah, real quick though, I did want to ask you something. After you started talking about the combo suits, have you tried?
Was like me or Gustav?
The Striker Kai, the GM Striker Kai.
Yeah, we're talking about not the custom, right? Like the space only one. Okay.
Well, no, I'm talking about the space only one. Have you tried its like dual beam saber on the Striker custom?
I personally just don't like the ready up time. It takes longer to ready up.
Okay.
I like, honestly, that's just because, like I said, I'm a sucker for combos.
Okay.
But good.
Well, I've been seeing more of like the beam into, I guess, is it punch? I can't remember the full combo, but like you do like beam, maybe punch, or you finish with punch. Maybe that's it. But like I'll see the dual saber a lot now, and they'll just be like, beam, hit. Okay, I'm dead. Cool. Like it's just like that. Like there's if they get on me, I'm just gone, and it's gross. I'm just like, what in the world? And I've been seeing more.
Are they hitting
dual
with
saber. The dual saber is like
the knuckle.
I think so, but my point though is the saber when it hits. I've been noticing it in the combo. Is kind of my point. And when it hits,
I gotcha.
I get chunked for like 6K, and then the punch is like 9K. So, or whatever.
I was more just asking because I feel like you in regards like where if you can consistently hit the knuckle punch, you can pretty much kill anything if any of the weapons. But I see what you're saying. I mean, most supports would die, depending on like what their HP setup is, just from the punch and any kind of like hard hitting follow up from either of the two weapons. I feel.
Yeah, I think it's beam, dual saber knockdown, or maybe 1, 2 a knockdown, and then they just swap to the swords, boom, boom, and you're just done. That's it. Like I don't. There's no longer any of this like, I've got the 2 dagger thing, so hit, dash, hit, dash, hit. Like there's none of the 3, 4 type combos that you're kind of talking about. That I mean, it's crazy that it can lock down a suit like that anyway. So you catch a general or anything, and you're just like, haha, I'm gonna poke you to death.
Yeah, I mean, I know a Dom. I know a Pezun Dawaj that got 100 to 0 because he stepped up. So I feel you there.
Oof.
Sorry, it was a Rick Diaz. My bad.
Oh, either way,
that's the worst.
Yeah.
Yeah, he fucked up. He shouldn't have taken half my HP away and took his whole entire life. Literally, just activate woke mode on the Striker custom and just beat him to death. He dodge rolled when he should have tackled, and I proceeded to get in there, as the young kids say.
But anyway, yeah, I was kind of curious what you thought about the dual saber though on the Striker.
It's just what I said earlier.
Yeah,
I don't like the long ready up time between them, but that doesn't mean it's like bad. I'm just a sucker for combos and punishment, but I think the double glaive is or the double saber or whatever is probably better overall. Just because you're able to, it hits easier, like you're less likely to miss somebody on the ground, and stuff like that. Like it's probably more consistent, which is probably the most important thing.
It's meta.
Yeah. So the next thing they added to the DP store is the new model frame level 2, and I'm so excited but also disappointed.
It's because you have to pay for it.
Yeah.
300,000 DP.
God damn.
So right now in the
That
DP,
is a lot. I had to register that. I had to think about it. I was like, damn.
like that's I
a
have
lot.
380,000 right now, and I've been saving up and slowly buying a few things. Like right now in the DP store,
I
if I
have
was to
it.
buy
Now you get to
everything,
just blow it all on one thing.
yeah, like all
Have
custom
fun.
parts. If I was to buy all custom parts right now, I need like 1.7 million DP to buy all the custom parts I still don't have.
Magnum, I can offer you a loan at 60% interest.
Oh God.
I mean, if you
I
could,
I have enough DP. I could give you that DP.
My gosh.
Like,
But I mean, you've
is
been
all your
also
stuff pretty much
playing
just
for
empty?
what?
I have everything in the market that's not like a pilot cosmetic.
Nah, damn.
In a game. Or in the DP store anyway.
Yeah.
Do you have the new model frame 2 already?
Oh yeah.
What about the auxiliary generator level 4?
For sure.
Okay.
I have everything in the DP store.
Well, that's what they added, is those two parts.
Yeah.
The new model frame level 2, amazing part, I think. It for raids that have a lot of close range slots, or even generals who don't use their melee as much that have close range slots. It's a great part for health, and for supports that manage to have that many close range slots, you can get a little bit extra health out of it, which is fantastic. That's my opinion on the new model frame. I don't know if you guys use it much, but I want it because I would use it a lot.
I think it's good for supports. Yeah.
Do you have it, Gustav?
I have the level 1. I don't have the 2. God, that's gonna take a while to actually get that.
Yeah, right. So I'm still debating, should I spend all my money or... Ugh. But yeah, Emblem. So do you not use it much?
Not really. It doesn't have the versatility of the frame level 1. And
Yeah,
because it kind of uses up more top than mid slots. I honestly, on most of my suits that I play, I'm using those to get more
Unga for
what
your
you call it.
bunga.
Buster.
Yeah, like I'm leveling up my damage, or I'm increasing my boost, or I'm putting on leg armor, or something like that. Like I feel like for supports where literally they're just, HP, DPS, like, that's their main focus: HP, health, damage, and you have all these top slots that are being unused. Having a part that gives you like 1k, what was it, 1.2? How much is it?
I think it's 1.2.
Yeah, that gives you 1,000 more HP. Using a lot of slots that are not really utilized that much for the most part, depending what suit you are, I think is pretty good. It feels like it was definitely made for supports, at least to me.
I'm sure they'll see a lot of use out of it, regardless.
Oh yeah. The other thing too, though, is normally what I would say though is, if for most supports too, you could also argue that you would want the cruise control, because it pretty much is one extra.
That's the
new model
+5
frame
speed one, right?
Yeah, the new model frame
Okay.
is one more mid and one more close. So at that point, kind of want 9 close to get both of those in, I think is the total what it would be. But I mean, on some suits that you don't care about moving too much, then yeah, you definitely want the new model frame. But yeah, it's 1,000, just 1,000, not 1.2.
Okay.
And then the auxiliary generator level 4 is cool, I guess. We've got some suits that can definitely utilize it. But
I'm still not a fan of those parts, personally. I don't like the cooldown reduction parts in the game, still. And like the ones I have actually...
bunga to pay attention to the difference, if there even is one.
Yeah, I was
It's
gonna say
just
it's
the
not
cost
much.
is too high. I feel like for the ones that are actually relevant to cost, this part cost is just way too high.
Yeah, it's like an
Oh, yeah.
entire suit slottage just to have the one thing on. Sucks.
Yeah, it's too close. And what was that? 12. I was just looking at like 12 medium, which is like good luck.
Yeah, for real. The only ones
If
that
you
have that are
don't know
like
what else to
those.
do with your configuration, you might as well just slap one of those on and be done with it. But for everyone else,
Mhm.
just maybe just use that for a secondary config and not your main.
Every now and then
Yeah.
I can fit a level 3 of those kind of parts, specifically on supports. Um, and then a lot of times a level 2 just because there's not much else to do at that point. I just have like one, maybe close and a bunch of medium because it's like if there's 4 left, there's not enough for the normal new model frame, and if there's
Mhm.
one, you could argue that you could get 3 more melee res, but unless you have don't have a shield and that's all the part slots you have, then you know so there's a couple of things you could kind of use other than that. But I mean, if I can shoot a little bit faster, then I'll go ahead and do that, especially if I'm using any ammo based stuff for the quick loader. As far as overheating stuff for the auxiliaries, though, that's where I kind of am like, there's not too many suits, specifically support wise, that you want to overheat. The ones that I would say use it the most would be like generals or even raids maybe that have a 100% overheat beam. So if you have something that overheats 100%, like maybe the Gelgu cannon might be an example for a support that could use it. But that's about all I could think of right now. But unless you're, yeah. And then on, again, the generals and stuff, normally you want more utility parts than just that because the beam isn't necessarily the, like, that's not
I
the
even
thing
kind
that's
of
doing
wonder
the
on the
damage.
Goku cannon though. Doesn't the Goku cannon have a sidearm missile launcher?
Yeah.
I
Well, I
feel
mean, you have
like
filler that you could do too with that as well. So,
yeah, I feel like there's enough filler to where like you don't need to worry too much about cooldown on the cannon, just because you're still being deadly in between it, and you should just focus on filling in parts that make you a little bit more adaptable at the close range, the closest range, like the mid range that you're probably playing at.
yeah.
Um,
I mean, I would agree with that.
I
Like,
don't know.
that, again, that's what
I'm
I'm
just
saying.
speaking
Like,
on like bias of like I said, I don't like any of the cooldown reduction parts at all. Like for any of the suits, like whether it be thrust, reload, overheat for beams or thrust or boosters, like they all seem pretty iffy to me.
that's fair. Yeah.
How much more substantial would they have to be for those lower levels for you to think it would actually be worth it?
I think they should at least make the level 1 5%. Like what is it right now? Like 3 or
3,
something like
yeah.
that.
Like, the
Yeah,
level
like
1's
at
annoying.
least like I don't know. 3's such a weird number. Like probably at least 5, and like even then it probably still wouldn't be enough of a change, really. But I don't know. Like,
Actually, here's a good example, real quick. The
but it's
medium
hard to say.
slots. If you don't have a
Hmm.
shield and it takes medium slots, that's about the only suit that I know that I use it. Because I've been agreeing with that more and more. And then now that we have the numbers, it's like, oh, I saved 0.3 seconds on this reload. It's like, if that was going to save you, you done messed up in some other way. So,
But yeah, like if there's, I think you're talking about the level 2 ones, like use a little bit more medium slots, whatever. Where's
yeah,
level 3? I can't
like
remember.
the level 1s,
Um,
I don't even use those at all. Like, there's, like, if you're going to have a level 1, you can just throw on the data link and get 3% damage
yeah,
to
I feel
the
you
to the
there. I
legs.
feel you there.
Like, if you're going to use the level 1, like, probably could fit the data link. And then,
But I don't know, Gustav. It'd be hard to say. It's not like I haven't really been doing like numbers to see like what percentages would work better. I just know like in our current forms it'd be bad, but I think any kind of just base increase, like obviously the level 1 part doesn't need to be something ridiculous like 10%
Yeah,
or
it'd be
anything
a
like
little
that.
much.
They'd have to adjust the cost or they'd adjust the part slots accordingly for that. But like I don't know. I'm surprised it's not increments of 5 or whatever. Because like level 4, what was it, 20 or 15?
Yeah, level
Mhm.
4 is 15, and it's like that is way too much cost for that. Just saying.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
with how
too
many parts it
expensive and
is,
it takes up too much space.
that one should have been 20. Like it should be 5, 10, 15, 20, probably. Um, then maybe a little bit more justifiable, but who knows? Maybe I'm wrong. That's okay.
I mean, again, like I was saying, pretty much the only thing that I could think of is a suit that doesn't have a shield, that you don't have any extra use, and you got a ton of medium slots. And again, this is probably going to only be on supports, like because you're just trying to throw out damage. And like first, you're going to probably put a new model frame if you have a lot of medium slots. But
Hmm.
then if you have like one or two close range slots left, then you're like, okay, well we can't put a melee level 2 on it, so let's just throw on melee level 1, and oh cool, we got 4 left, so 4 medium left, so let's do level 2 auxiliary or quick loader. I think is pretty much
Right.
so like a couple of suits just to kind of name some. I do that with the Zaku cannons. I do that with, I think, the gun cannon mass production is one. Gigan maybe. Yeah, I'm starting to question whether I do it now because I've been switching things to more utility stuff. So I'd have to look at my parts on a lot of these suits. But yeah, I'm kind of having to, like, even before we got the stats, I was changing a lot of this up because just the
Hmm.
mobility and defense just was so much better just because it didn't feel like I was getting much more out of it. Because as long as you're comboing right, like even on the mass production, I've been using the bullpup now that I've actually did some testing with it and found out like how much damage it deals. I that thing's pretty much reloaded all the time. Whereas like
Oh yeah.
you get more range. I think. Can't remember. I was going to say like I think you might get more range of the MMP8 or 100 millimeters, but
Yeah,
you get more ammo.
I
I
think it's
think
like
is
a
what it is.
difference of 50 or something like that. 100 millimeter does have more range than a bullpup.
Okay, that's what it was then.
Um,
That's
Yeah,
the
it
only
does.
yeah,
benefit really. But I think the bullpup technically has more damage. Like it actually has more DPS output because I went through and I finally
rate of
recorded.
fire, right?
Well, I mean, you have rate of fire, but you actually have. So I decided, I would attack a base to kill it, right?
Hmm.
And I found out that, well, machine gun fire has like 99% reduced damage to a base or something ridiculous like that because one cannon shot, or either your cannons have souped up damage against the base, one or the other. But one cannon shot was like 5 to 8 minutes of me sitting there holding down the trigger in a practice match. So I was like, well, that's a bad test. Okay, next. So then what I did is I started recording how fast could I kill like
Hmm.
a Gundam, and so I would just shoot it, and then I took those clips, put them in a just a video editing thing, and then right at the start, because you could just clip it to the frame, and then right when
Hmm.
it died, clip it to the frame, and then just okay, which one's longer? Okay, well, obviously the one that's shorter killed it faster because that's higher DPS overall. And then if you just clip a bunch of them together and reload times and everything, then you definitely get a better making sure that it's more accurate. And full pup pretty much won. So
That is pretty nice in that regard. Since the critical hits don't exist in the game, you don't have to worry about any like weird variants
yeah,
or anything like that too.
so that was kind of interesting. And one thing that I did want to try to test is if something had more health, but I think I would need somebody with parts to actually do that, or I'd have to blow up their shield first and then kill the suit. So I've been meaning to go
Hmm.
back to be like, okay, well, is there any benefit because one has more ammo than the other, shoots longer, kind of thing. So I kind of do want to do that, but as of right now, it just seems the more consistent, easy one to use is going to be the bullpup. So at that point, you're always pretty much ready to fire. If you hit reload and swap to your cannons, you're reloaded by the time you swap back. Like it takes no time at all to reload the bullpup. So like I've not even been using it on that suit anymore. So yeah.
For sure.
I
It just
do
comes down
use
to
it on
preference.
MLRS. I use both of them on MLRS. Give me those missiles back. It's like a good 2 to 3 seconds, I think, is what you get on that. Something like that. I can look it up
Hmm.
real quick. But
Yeah, I
yeah,
mean, when you're shaving seconds off, I think it definitely gets a lot better. But anything like under half a second on any of those parts, like I wouldn't even bother with. for sure.
pretty much. Oh yeah, 6 seconds. 6.4 seconds on the MLRS with both of those on. So hell yeah.
Is that the main rockets or the overhead?
That's the overhead.
Okay,
The main rockets is 2 seconds.
that makes sense.
So
I'd say like 6 seconds. That's got to be the overhead or arcing rockets. Like there's no way it's your main. That makes sense.
but even then 2 seconds is pretty legit too at the same time.
That's so you have level what 2 and
3.
3, or is it okay?
But yeah, is the main point. If you're going to buy the auxiliary generator level 4, I would say save your DP till a suit that really needs it comes out. Model Frame 2 definitely has its uses, but it's 300,000 DP, so I don't know if I can
Better be
justify
worth it
that.
to you compared to anything else you have in there you could be getting.
Yeah, like that's way too much DP for that part. Just saying.
It's like several mobile suits worth.
Yeah, so that is a definitely wait to buy kind of thing. I don't know. Do they really value that part that much though? Like it's.
I mean, reload time and stuff like that is a pretty big deal.
Well, no,
but
I mean the new
don't
model
know.
frame is what I'm
Oh.
talking about.
Oh.
300,000 for that part. Like I don't think. Pretty much, I'm just saying for anybody listening who wants to, like, if we were recommending buy a part now, like auxiliary generator.
What's the rarity? What's the rarity? Is it a 2-star?
It is a 3-star. So,
That's probably what it is then.
Still though, ugh. Like
It's weird that they would make that a 3-star, I guess, in that case.
Yeah, I mean that's probably like I feel like they've got a so that they don't have to actually change anything. I don't know, maybe they just have an automatic like after so much time the usual part price goes up by this much. And then it'll go ahead and based on star.
What's the
inflate that
rarity of
number.
level 1 new model frame?
One moment, please. But either way, main point
'Cause it
though,
could-
real quick, like
Hmm.
I excuse me, I couldn't probably recommend this as like something you go out and buy now kind of thing, because if you need other suits or other weapons or anything else, I would definitely look at, or even other just custom parts, I would say probably look at that first.
Yeah, if you're like us and you just have a bunch of stuff, then maybe take a look at it or save up and just understand that future parts that get dropped will probably be around that range too.
Yeah, I think support mains that are already established are definitely, or like who this is catered for. Like if you already like set in your ways and this is a new part for you, like if there are 2 parts in your DP store right now and you're a support main, you should probably pick it up. Leave the auxiliary generator.
Oh well,
it's
like
trash and you'll never use it
pretty much
until 700 cost suits come out and they have 50 slots for every category.
Yeah, right.
This is enough to cover like a level 2 suit right now.
So new model is 2-star.
Okay. I wonder if it's a situation where like, damn, the new model frame 1 was really good. Let's just make the level 2 3-star, so we can hike the price up. But then they made it niche instead of super versatile. Instead,
it's just weird because like hiking the price up doesn't make sense when it's not a currency you can directly buy.
Right.
Yeah, like again, this just feels like are you a new player? Get wrecked.
Get ready for Contrivance the game. Like, okay.
Because like even for me right now to get all the parts I need feels like man, I'm not playing the game enough, right?
I mean, we play this shit every fucking day. It's
Yeah,
like, damn,
so like a new player right now getting into this, it's like, oh gee, what can I buy with my DP? And it's like,
golly, Katarina, what's in the DP shop today?
Yeah. Get wrecked. Oh no.
300,000 DP, Katarina. I think you put on a few too many zeros there, my friend. And she's just like, no, sorry. This is exactly the price tag you're looking at, bud. Oh, but your rank's not high enough. Get the fuck out of here.
I don't want her stepping on me with those price tags.
So yeah, so it's not in the. It's taken out of the. Wait, no, that's
She
right.
ain't that expensive.
I'm being dumb right now. That's right. It's not in the lottery because they don't do that.
Nope. Thank God.
But the thing
Oh
is,
my
you would have
God.
to get a gold box, or
if they did, I would have to go back to the idea of like just put all these in separate banners, so I don't have to like roll wanting a suit and
a
getting
parts banner.
Yeah, essentially.
Just get your in-game crates, lol. That's the parts banner.
But yeah, there you go, exactly. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. All the parts can be pretty much found out of the recon crates.
Especially with this guaranteed drop thing that they're doing for the apology, for the festival. Like, just cross your
like 4 weeks.
Get it in there.
Yeah.
Hey, I got the Gelgoog IMO level 4 out of one of those, so I was pretty hyped. I think that's what it was. Got something good recently out of one of those. Actually, I got a lot of good recently out of those, so I can't really complain about the recon boxes.
Yeah, it's stuff that we should have had anyway. So like,
Yuma Lightning.
It's
that's
nice
what it was.
that they made up for it.
Oh yeah. And it's going on how long though? Again, like it's actually going on.
I believe it's 4 weeks
for the entirety, like compared to what the festival was, right?
Yeah, I think somebody said like
this is supposed to be during the festival.
Yeah, I think somebody said like July. It's going on to like July 7th. I'm gonna try to find it here though. Oh, here we go.
I've got it too. Yeah, it lasts till July 2nd. Like I don't know if he said 7th or 2nd, but
I said 7th, but yeah, I might have misheard. Cool.
Yeah, it's almost a 30-day period. Start on June 9th.
Play if you have 5 boxes, play those 15 games. Go.
So look out, Q Dodgers. If you're penalty level 1, you don't get the bonus.
Yep.
That's right. You fucking jobbers. What's up?
we know Gustav's stance. Fuck you guys. Get wrecked.
Fucking trash.
Q Dodgers scrubs.
Pretty much. So
you can't all be DC on accident. I don't give a fuck.
I reached the point where that shit was on purpose.
Oops, I forgot to change it to patch notes. But
oh no.
Last thing on the patch notes.
Foxside, I'll DC what I want. You're not my dad.
But the clan match stuff. So we already mentioned it once, but it's gonna be on Sunday, not Monday, but it is 6/13. So they have it here. Pull it up. So 6/13 at 9 p.m. Pacific, but it's just the day is wrong here, so it's not Monday, Sunday. So
Sunday in the middle of the fucking morning. Let's go.
Sunday.
Saturday night for me.
wait, what?
I mean, pretty much, right? Like we're gonna be up Saturday to get there.
Well, I mean, it's gonna be at 9. This will be at 9 o'clock at night on a Saturday for me.
Yeah.
Wait, no, it's
Pacific time.
It's gonna be like midnight.
Oh wait, no, it is Saturday. It is. I'm an idiot.
Yeah, it's Saturday night, Sunday morning.
Oh my gosh. Okay, well, I've said something dumb twice.
Yeah, the big hang up for this one was just that they said the wrong day. Like that's how it normally is, regardless for us. It's just like Saturday night into Sunday morning.
Yeah. But the thing is, you said it was weird that it. When I said Sunday earlier, you said it was weird that it's normally on Saturday. Whoops. So it is on Saturday.
Yeah.
Okay.
Technically.
Yeah.
Not really for us, but we're not gonna.
Yeah, think of the idea.
But I mean, I've been saying
think of the idea of banner release.
I've been saying as if you were on the West Coast, though, is what I've been saying. So I've been saying it wrong again.
So you said it right for one of us, just not everyone else.
Sure, but anyway, 6/13 at 9 p.m. That's the main thing. 6/13, 9 p.m. There you go. That's Pacific. 9 p.m. Pacific. 6/13, 9 p.m. Pacific. There we go. Yeah. So anyway, as far as the actual stuff that's going on, 4v4 Arctic base, 400 cost.
Yeah.
Simple battle.
Yeah.
I think that'll be cool. Actually, smaller amount.
I
of
love
people.
Ring Around a Rosie.
I mean, we're not going to do
It
that.
shouldn't be as big of a problem, yeah. If it be an Arctic base,
Hey,
just fight
Hikaru's in
Wolf.
that match.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh my god, Hikaru. The Flame J.
I think some dude actually like tried to post that are you all right because I picked Grandpa Gundam in 600.
Don't worry, your lobby will crash momentarily.
It already did. Someone yeeted. Like the
Oh,
support and that dude didn't budge, and we just got counted out.
So yeah, I think it'll be cool. I'm actually kind of hyped for this one. So for me, that'll be late at night. So I don't know how much I'll be streaming before it, but kind of wanting to go over some kind of strat plan at least. What do you guys think for strats though? What do you think, Emblem?
I mean, it'll probably just end up being more of the same stuff from the last one we did. Just keep your enemies in a like as much of a disadvantage as possible. It should be easier to work together on the base or that map. There's less people to worry about because it's 4v4 and everything's so closed in that even if somebody dies, they should be able to return to the fight relatively quickly. I mean, realistically, it's probably just gonna be a slaughter fest, but
It is.
I mean,
because now
what
you
I'm
don't
kind
even
of
have to do
seeing.
the ring around the rosy shit after the opening run. You can just kind of drop forever.
Well, here's kind of what I was thinking though. I was kind of using the last one as an example, right? Where we were talking about the simple 4v4 using the heal as a kind of like where the support sits, and then everybody's kind of like the buffer in front. So what I was thinking, with that same kind of logic, you can use either one side of the bridge that's out or the other, because the thing is, at that point, you either mirror to one side or mirror to the other side, because wherever the enemy spawns, they're going to be spawning on one side or the other, and even if they do both, you can just kind of split that way, where you have your support up at the top, either on the high bridge or even the low bridge, and they're still at a kind of safe spot to where they can help out and the other team has to approach. So I'm guessing we're going to see a lot of the high bridge stuff, and then the teammates are going to be down at the bottom, preventing any raids from being able to even approach.
Raids. What is that?
And then that was going to be the other thing. Do you think there's going to be just 4 generals and then 1 support?
I think
there might
I
not
think
even
most
be
times.
might not even be a support in some cases, especially with such a tight team comp.
I don't know. I think with the supports that you can do, you get the Hildoffer, which it would change the playstyle at that point too. That can just get in there and brawl, which I think is really valuable at this point. And then you have stuff like the GM Cannon 2. I'm going to be doing the Dom Barrage probably, so I'll definitely be sitting up there. And trying to think what else we got. I mean, any kind of tank could just sit up there. You could have like the Gun Tank 2, could kind of do the same sort of thing.
I like the bridging will be interesting. I think
because at that point,
I think the matches will get to that point. I think the start will be a fight around the capsule.
Oh yeah.
And the biggest thing I would say there is, which it might end up being more Ring Around a Rosie type stuff, but you just don't want to. You want to make sure you're on. You want to fight on a side that's favorable towards the position of your weapon. Like we talked about before, like most mobile suits are favorite or right side. So you'd want to try not to be the team that's fighting from their left, essentially. Like you want to be the team that's fighting on the right. So if you can force that, you can do pretty well there, or get into the position where like you're just not directly in cover, like not like when you spawn and your base is looking at the actual like shuttle in the middle of the map. I think you want to be fighting where the enemy team doesn't have their back to their base and you have your back to yours, but more it might be easier to fight on the side where I don't know, it kind of feels like it'd be the same thing, but I feel like it's a little bit easier on probably both sides to like force an encounter, where the bases are to your left and right rather than to your front and back. If that makes sense. But ultimately,
Yeah.
like it's probably about the same in the case of that initial fight. And then I feel like at that point things just kind of like unless they like stay at the bottom, you just kind of get the fight played out into the bottom area initially. Then kind of repositioning and having to support just rain death down on the high ground is probably fine.
I
At
wonder
that point, it kind of just comes down to counter support and stuff like that. Probably, maybe.
just wondering if it's going to turn into a fight for the high bridge.
It might.
Very possibly. I
Like,
mean, Impact Site was pretty much a fight for the hill
yeah,
for the most part when we played there, and the support just sat up on the high ground while the generals just traded dance partners. So there'll probably be a little bit more the same.
yeah. That's. I mean, it'd be interesting to see. Like, I'm
Mhm.
really hoping we see some different meta than the ring around the base or ring around the shuttle. And I mean, I know
That'll definitely
that's
be
gonna
the
be our
opener, at
strat.
least.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'll be like, oh, charge the other team head on. And it's gonna be our first one. Let's go.
Intensify.
Intensify. Screw the ring around the shuttle. I hate that meta with a passion.
I feel like you're just gonna get bodied if you do that, though. Like that's the whole thing people avoid by doing that.
Well, I mean, in a
I mean,
sense, like if everyone's pushing together, like granted, I think it depends. Like it's a little bit awkward if it's in those tight corridors. That's why I was saying like the sides might be a little easier to have everyone fight in. But yeah, I think Madison's about to say the same thing. Go ahead, Magnum,
yeah, pretty
or
much.
something similar.
I was gonna say, like, if we're all like looking at one spot and they come through, that first guy who's coming through thinking, "Oh, we're gonna do ring around the shuttle," we're just gonna be like, "Boom, focus fire," and hopefully cause something, because if that's gonna be their opener move, there is, we're just like, "Sup," and hopefully we catch them off guard. And if we can do that and we're all there together, I mean that's kind of the thing right now is you have ring around the base, and if you're in a slow support, you just get caught because you can't keep going around in a circle fast as everybody else can. And so typically both supports get caught, or normally one guy on both sides gets caught in just a normal rated match. And so it's like, okay, you kill that one, we kill this one, okay, now let's actually go clash. And then at that point, both teams kind of just run at each other, and it's like, why not? Let's just do this
Cut
from the
out the
beginning.
middleman.
Yeah, just stop the running around and killing one dude on each team. Let's just go at it to begin with, because after that, it just kind of just both teams go at each other anyway.
That makes more sense too. I mean, you're wasting time running around, and you need to get as many points as you can before the
Yeah.
match ends to get that wonderful Night Seeker.
Oh yeah, and that's true too. You're trying to get the most points. So yeah, exactly. Like, let's just fight. Go. Intensify. But yeah, that's I'll be interested to see what happens though, and I'll be interested to if we can get some replays of that. That'll be cool to talk about next time for sure. But cool. So I think we've. I mean, that's the rest of the patch notes. So
Yeah, like we said, not a lot in the update itself. A lot of stuff happening around it.
yeah. I guess we already talked about the navigator thing. So I guess new suit speculation and then
Hey,
shoutouts.
seems good.
Cool. So yeah, how do we want to do it this time? Just what we think the new suit's going to be, and the three that we
Because
wish.
I mean, we just got like it's something that we were hoping would happen, but it was a bit of a swerve.
I mean, for what I think it's going to be again, I think it's up in the air. Anybody's guess. Like I have no clue at this point now.
Yeah, I don't know anymore.
Yeah, I mean, we're open to double Zeta suits that like aren't necessarily new, but could have potentially premiered at a show. But like technically it was around during Zeta Gundam, but you just never saw it. Or the 1 year war, depending on where you want to look at it. You also have MSVZ or MSGZ rather. Standard Zeta. Like the world is open to many different suits.
I will say that like right now, I think there's some that we should just expect to be for the anniversary. So I think that's why we ended up getting the GM3 because ultimately it's still like a baseline 400 suit.
I actually think the GM3 would have made a pretty cool. I mean, in its current state, maybe not something to give to everyone for free, but I think it would have been a pretty cool like second year anniversary.
It would have been
limited
interesting
suit
as their
or whatever.
limited suit, yeah.
Yeah,
I wonder if that's
but
going to be
that's
like a Hammurabi or something.
that's a banner suit.
That is a good point. Now that that's not on the table anymore, what is going to qualify as their limited suit?
They'll do the Gaza or something.
Probably. I could see that.
Yeah, that wouldn't be bad. And we already kind of talked about last time what our picks for the anniversary were, essentially. I mean, we already mentioned.
I know what I think is going to be.
Yeah, I already voiced mine earlier in the podcast here even. So yeah. So I guess do we want to just go through what we want to see soon?
Well,
this week?
I feel like if you've been watching the episodes of the podcast, you know what I want to see. And one of those suits is coming out during the anniversary, or better be.
Oh my god, if it doesn't, then
oh my gosh, for real though, yeah. Like I said, Bound Doc, Cubile, Theo. If they're not out before it, they better be out on the anniversary. Those three, yeah.
I want to see the Cubile every time I log into Battle Op on the opening screen, please.
Just come on, sitting on the Cubile, like there it is.
So
that'll be so good. I'll have to do 10 spins on that banner so I can get the pilot outfit.
Wait a minute. So just
the Haman normal suit. Ooh.
I was gonna say, does Haman have a normal suit? Like,
what if
sure
we get
does.
her? What if we get her double Zeta eventually too?
Okay, I was gonna say
that'd be good too.
Do you just get her hair as like? But yeah,
I'd be okay with that.
I forgot that. I was like, does she have a normal suit? But that's what I was about to say. It's like she does it. Do we just get her hair as like the?
Let's get a wig. Let's go.
But yeah. So next week though, what are the 3 suits that you want to see?
I don't know. Hammurabi seems like a safe thing that they might not bring out during the anniversary. So I wouldn't mind them just whooping that out for next week.
Be cool.
I put some pictures up. The bottom one just had a helmet, and for the top one just had a little like 3-prong little crown thing.
Yeah.
And then there's Haman's standard
there's
little
the
like
3-prong crown.
Black,
that's probably what we'd get.
Yeah, and then there's the standard like purple pants, black shirt cape thing that you normally see Haman running around in.
Bro, if we get the cape, lose my fucking mind.
Oh my. Run around the base with a cape. No, for real though, that's what they're gonna do for like extra stuff. The like next to the limited suit, you're gonna have like the 3 prong thing. You're gonna have the cape as a back thing that you can only have in the
Yeah, I can see that.
area. Yeah, I could see some of that. That'd be cool.
That I'll take things they should have had as options for 500, Alex.
From the get-go.
Right?
Mad.
Oh man.
Like the minute they announced Zeta suits, like those kind of cosmetics should have just been a thing.
Oh yeah. For real. But yeah, Gustav, Hammurabi, anything else?
No, I mean like a lot of these are going to be reserved for the festival, so it's a little bit tight, and it's interesting that they were willing to pull from like a double Zeta like grunt suit essentially. It almost feels like they were trying to skirt that possibility. If not the Hammurabi, then probably some weird like MSV Z suit, maybe a full armor Mark II or some shit like that.
Sounds good. I like full stuff. Also,
I feel like we're not gonna go that obscure for like the anniversary itself.
I gotta think the Full Armor Mark 2 is going to be a raid.
That'd be interesting if they pulled that.
But I think that's what I said.
Yeah,
that's what I said last time too.
Yeah.
But like they could make it mobile enough to make that work. I'd be down for that.
That'd be kind of cool though, to see a full armor raid that's not the Thunderbolt. By the way,
but the G-Line Assault.
Yeah, like let it be on ground and space. We give it like space reference. I'd be down with that.
But yeah, Emblem, what are your 3 picks, or what are your picks?
I'm thinking on my end, obviously Cubile, Method, stuff like that. But for what's coming up next week, we'll say the Z2 or the ZII or whatever as a support.
As a support.
As a support.
Yeah, let's say support. Has a giant cannon on its head. I'll show you guys some love. I think that thing transforms.
That thing. Ah. Okay, hang on. I'll pull this up.
Or even if they went super hard and just like did Mark IV.
Also, one of the is the
MK4,
Zeta is like the Zeta B3. Does that one transform as well? Because I know that one's been
Zeta V3.
B3.
B3. Is that one of the prototypes? Well, sure.
Actually, I do want them to put out the prototype Zeta at some cost just for shits.
The wiki brought up plus B. Well, I mean, this is transformed, so I'm gonna guess yes.
Tiki Kai might actually be a thing too.
I know the plus is transform.
That would probably be space though. That one would. Can it be on ground?
I know the.
I was gonna say I don't see why not, but we also had the GBO4 and shit that does it. So
the Amuro Zeta Plus is a ground suit, so it should. I don't see why the other one wouldn't be able to, but it's hard to say.
Kind of cool. And then here I brought up the Z2 here. That looks pretty cool. I am a fan. That's tasty. Okay. So anything else? So you got the Z2. Emblem?
Oh, that was kind of my hot take on it. I wasn't planning on. I'll just say that's what I think it is.
Okay.
Raid methods, support Z2.
Well, I guess mine might be
screw generals.
There we go. That's what I'm saying. We've had too many generals. They need a break. So I'll agree with the raid Methus. I still want my transforming support though, so that better be first. So even though I'm saying raid Methus, I'm just doing that out of just common courtesy.
Thanks.
But transforming support. So the Z2 sounds good. The Zeta B3 and one I'm probably gonna. Then once we get our transforming one, I'll say the Palace of Theme. Gonna be the next on my list of something I want. If that ends up being a general, I'm just. We might have an episode of this where I'm just for a minute straight when we're like, okay guys, let's talk about the banner suit, the Palace of Theme, where I'm just hitting my head on the desk, just going Ree! Like I'll take my headset off and just set it over here, and you guys can just hear dunk dunk Ree, dunk dunk.
One day we'll know
I'll
the
flip
answer.
the table and man. But yeah, so I could see one of the Gazas though being the like the stuff you do with the missions for the limited suit. There we go. Words are hard. But cool. Any other hot takes real quick, or are we just gonna hop into some shoutouts?
I think I'm good.
I'm good.
Cool. Stuff. You wanna let everybody know what's going on? And what?
Yeah. Gustav 13th, Gustav _X_III on Twitch, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. We are continuing our playthrough of Disgaea as our secondary while also doing GBO2 dailies. And more or less, hopefully we can keep that up. Also, eventually we'll be getting a newer PC setup, so hopefully I can do Yakuza Kiwami 2. And if we do, it's probably going to be a we're probably going to redo what we did before we stopped the playthrough. Just so that the footage is more consistent. So yeah, hopefully we can get that rolling after Disgaea is done.
Cool. Also, clan matches are coming up. Don't forget GS3 for his clan. So, Emblem. What about you?
I am GamingEmblem. You can find me at twitch.tv/GamingEmblem. I actually recently added that to the status on my PSO2 character. So, hashtag sellout. You gotta let people know they won't come in or something. Go ahead, join me, Magnum. You can do it too. I think you can change the text too. You can make yours green. Woo!
Oh yes.
You had me at green. But Fantasy Star. The Magnum's laughing, but he knows it's true. He's watching us play Sakura Wars, and he's like, "Oh, I would probably go for the blonde one. She wears green." It's like, yeah, a trash tier waifu over here, and I'm just like, green, whatever. Anyway, I digress though. But yeah, video games, internet, fun with a question mark, Salt, Battle Operation, GBO2, same game, PSO2, sometimes other stuff, RPGs. We're watching a PlayStation 5 reveal stuff after the podcast today. If you watch this on YouTube, it's already too late. You missed it. Yeah, cool. Gaming Emblem.
So, anyway, as always, oh man. Everybody's info will be down in the description below. But yeah, I'm EG Magnum, stream on Twitch, got a Twitter, Discord, YouTube channel, stuff like that. Playing some GBO2, of course, MSGO, PSO2, Fantasy Star Online 2. And tomorrow, probably gonna call it after this tonight, most likely. But tomorrow, sometime, because I'm going to try to get some extra stuff done. But I'm going to try to finish up everything I needed to finish in Final Fantasy VII. And at which point, once that's all good, or I get all the stuff that I would think is interesting, mainly the final thing of the simulator on stream, then all the other boring stuff that I would have to do can be done later, because literally, like leveling up a couple of things, you can just autopilot. After that, PSO2. Oh, there it is. Ouch. Okay, we'll have to get a doubt. We have to get a doubt emote now. Just send me that picture in Discord, Emblem. Yeah. Anyway, so PSO2 gonna be the new like grindy game till the next grindy game, which is literally next week on Friday. Path of Exile. I'm gonna be doing some videos on the YouTube channel about Path of Exile, talking about the updates, and stuff like that. Yeah, so they start a new league next week on Friday, and the tabletop for Gundam using the Robotech rule set. The first session, so session 1, we already had session 0 yesterday, so session 1 will be Wednesday. That'd be really cool. Also, I've got to create a character for Emblem's character now that is definitely not Jared.
Oh no!
Because the character might hear a girl's name. That's all I'm saying. So anyway,
what the fuck are you talking about?
I don't know.
My character has a man's name.
I don't know. I don't.
Gustav, my character's name is Courtney.
He's just gonna spoil it, right?
Yuri.
No.
Okay. Like, I don't know what he's talking about.
Okay. So anyway.
So it's okay. So you're supposed to be Camille. That's fine. That works.
What am I talking about? Who's Camille?
But anyway, guys.
Sounds like a girl's name to me.
So yeah, that's pretty much what's going on for me. So like, comment, subscribe, all that. Let us know in the comments what you'd like to hear us talk about down below. But anyway, guys, that'll be it for this one. Thanks for watching. Have a good one. Peace.
Later.
Bye.